time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. And you can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again, so we can fly again. 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 We can fly again.
Atomic particles traveling near the speed of light do decay more slowly than stationary particles. As strange and counterintuitive as it seems, time dilation is a law of nature. Traveling close to the speed of light is a kind of elixir of life. Because time slows down close to the speed of light, special relativity provides us with a means of going to the stars.
wish you were near. I'll keep you right here beside me. I need to know I'm not alone. Now take it home as the night begins to fade away to yesterday. I wanna stay in this moment here. I need to know which way to go. Now take me home as the night begins to fade away to yesterday. I wanna stay in this moment here with you. In this moment here with you. In this moment here with you.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. Yeah. All in when I show up. Whole place about to blow up. Superior to that competition. I'm in first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate.
broken dreams in my pocket. Golden thing round my neck like a locket. Carve your name in my mind, 'cause you caught it. You caught it. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Meet under the street light at the young, so I could show you. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you're glowing. Meet under the mezzanine just so that I could show you. You're
Hello,
golden.
you can hear us.
Yeah, you're golden.
Hello, you can hear us. Down the street.
Looking forward to this round indeed, because all I'm going to say is a particular car is looking very, very fast.
I think we've got sound. I'm not sure. I think we have sound. I don't honestly know what's happening.
Shall I just ramble on a little bit? So
Do you just ramble on and I will try and figure out what is going off here.
What is going off? Well, basically, what is going off is we are at the Paul Ricard circuit here for the 5th and 6th round of the championship, and heard Dan briefly, but then nothing, says Fury's Granddad. Well, you hear me a lot, Fury's Granddad, and I apologise for that, but you know, I'm just a sneaky fella, you know. But you can see that that Shane is the man at the minute at the top of the table. As Lamborghini looking very, very good around here, as you can see at the top of the tables, and this is why I'm a little bit excited for this round. Lamborghini looking the strongest here tonight, and it's definitely a circuit that's going to favour a short wheelbase car with a mid-engine rear and a rear-wheel drive car. And by the looks of things, I think according to Fury's Granddad, they can hear us now. So
yeah.
Matt,
it seems to, yeah, it seems to be the case on the Switch.
I can stop rambling now.
You can stop rambling. Paul Ricard then is the circuit. Free practice is done. 15 out of the 16 drivers in. No Leon Fernie tonight, and it's great to see that we have everybody else with us. In terms then of this championship battle, I say battle, it has been dominated by one man, and that one man is this man, Holty. He leads the way, 4 points clear of his teammate Kieran Argent, 22, who is a man who is trying to hunt him down. Shane, though, we're very excited to see what the tickle pink machinery of Shane can do. The number 8 here, he sits 9 points behind. Can he get any more points this evening? The Green Wolfinator, he's in only 28 points off the back, with KLF 500 sitting in a comfortable position. in P5. Pepe, he is P6, 1 point behind Kelly, with 4 points behind Kelly. PN Motorsport, who's having a fantastic start to his proper ACC and his proper Wednesday and Thursday night sort of career here at Simplay Motorsport. Bryn on a qualifying ban, can't qualify tonight. He's currently 8th in the championship with Smithy just behind him. Welshie then the next man in the championship, 2 points behind his long-time rival of Smithy with Daz Automatic. What a week Daz had last week. He is P11. DJ Phil, the next man in the championship, currently sat P12 with Dean Wasocki also on a qualifying ban tonight, is in P13. Stealth Sloth is 14th place. What? He's had a bit of a decent season as Stealth Sloth. Leon Fernie not here in 15th, and I kept calling him Addy last week. That is not his name. It's, hang on, let me get it up on Discord. He did tell me how to say it earlier because the guy is Turkish and told me to pronounce his name Adik. Ardik? Adik? I think it's Ardik.
I think you messed that right up, mate.
I haven't.
Ardik.
Ardik is what we're going with. Shall we go in with Ardik?
A dick.
I couldn't find it, and then I found it after I'd already said it. I should have just paused. Ardik is what we're going with. If we mispronounce that again, I apologise. But Ardik is what we are going with for tonight. In terms of the Constructors' Championship then, it is AH Motorsport. We're 50 points clear of Tickle Pink Motorsport with Audio Sport sat 76 behind. East and West Motorsport are P4 with MC Motorsport P5. And then it's the first of what is now become... Sorry, it's the first of 4 independent championship runners. It's the Austrian Racing Club with the Green Wolfenator on 64 points, with the Racing Group, Aston Martin of Pepe on 61. The team of That's a Good One Racing, DJ Phil and Leon Fernie, they're on 59 points. Lone Ranger Racing of Dean Wasocki's on 36, and the solo racer of Ardik is on 12. Who's the first man out on the track? It is Holty. Let's go for a quick ride
DJ
with
Phil.
Holty then. Is it?
DJ Phil's a man on a lap. He's the first one. He left the pits.
I apologise. Well, let's go on DJ Phil.
Disco's correct. That's definitely going in the Hall of Fame on this Simplay as well. That was brilliant. I'm sorry, Glacier, but that's really teaching. And I'm sorry, Ardik as well, because
Tony did warn me earlier. He did say you're gonna mess it up on stream. And I did.
From the guys as well.
First time I got a message from the guy. It was in Turkish. I did have to translate the message on Google Translate, and it was Ardik. And I couldn't find the message, and I just. It's gone well, chat. It's gone well tonight. It's gone really, really well. Yeah, it's gone really well tonight. That's fantastic to see. Either way, great to see Mother Davis in the chat. Disco Disco Face, PM Motorsport, DJ Phil Fury's granddad, and Jamie Brazier in there as well to kick things off in the chats. As DJ Phil is about to kick things off by posting the first proper lap time on the board, and this is on board DJ Phil at the moment.
I've gone. I'm sorry. Oh my god.
While Dan composes himself. Here comes DJ Phil to the final corner then. Around he comes now. Dan's crying like Lando. He always does, Disco. This is what it's like on a regular basis. DJ Phil to the line, sets the benchmark of a 2:09, and that is actually not a bad lap time from DJ Phil. We'll see if the others can beat it as we expect lap times to start to filter in. Holty will be the next man on a lap, and he goes and does a 58.1. Pepe in the background. What will he do? Probably not locks. He's on an invalidated lap. I do believe that is one of the Lamborghinis in the background as well. I believe that is Welshie. It was Ardik. Shane. Yeah. Shane's gone provisional post. It was this Lamborghini of Shane. Ardik in the background didn't set a lap time either. PN's crossed the line and gone P3. The next one is car number 22 of KLF. And what lap time will he put in? Don't forget, if you're looking at that little track map, the light blue dots indicate that they are on an invalidated lap or an out lap. The grey dots mean they are on a lap. The dark blue, greeny dots mean they are in the pits. And everybody's got to be in. Everybody can be out on track apart from Bryn and Dean Wasocki. We've said them two right. We're on a roll now.
We are on a roll. As I'm watching Smithy coming towards the line, the other Audio Sport driver towards the line in his McLaren. Oh my god. Was not expecting that. Thank you, Matt. That really tickled me. We get Paul Ricard off to a great start as Daz, I think, automatic just crosses the line. He goes P4 with 9/10 off the pace, but we're expecting the Lamborghini to be very, very quick around here. Obviously, myself and Matt do a lot of research into this, and we watch a lot of YouTube videos, and one of the ones we do watch is to know a little bit of information about this circuit. And one of the things that we've learned with this circuit as well is that it's very much a circuit that suits the Audi and the Lamborghini, a car that's very, very similar. Rear-wheel drive, mid-engine? No, rear engine.
Rear engine.
Yeah, mid-engine. It's mid-engine, not rear, because the Porsche is the only rear engine.
Rear engine, yeah.
Stupid. Mid-engine, and it's very short wheelbase, and it just turns and rotates easier. And this is the key with Paul Ricard. It's a circuit that rewards patience, and it's been quite interesting practice sessions for ourselves, not just for the pros but also the pro-ams, because even though Shane, myself, and Fury, we're all running the Lamborghini, we've all gone for very different setups. Mine's very much a high downforce setup. I'm very quick in the corners, but I compensate that. I lose out, in the straights. So I'm very draggy, while Fury's gone the opposite way, where he's gone less downforce, and he's much faster in a straight line, but then it loses out in the corners. So it is, you gotta play to what feels best to you. Yeah. And I think in this case, if it was me, I'd be going for the downforce. Yes, you're going to be slow in a straight line down that back straight, but if you can get out in front and you can get away and get into a rhythm, pure corner speed will outdo straight line speed, in my opinion, around here.
And another thing we know as well is there's a lot of different lines to take around some of these corners, Dan, as well, isn't there? Smithy comes out the final corner towards the line. He's still on a lap time. Can he improve it and bump his way up the grid? He gets on there. It's 10th place for him. It's 8 seconds off the pace. Daz automatic to cross the line. And one man who's currently gone provisional pole is Argent. Now, we didn't expect this. Like we say, it's a Bentley Audi. It's a Lamborghini Audi sort of circuit. Not expecting the Bentley, who's won 4 of 4 races here in Pro-Am this season, to do a lot. But we will keep our eyes on it. Matt's done a lot of research on the track, but not a lot of research on the poor guy's name. I know. I apologise, Jamie. You think this is bad? I have to go to Switzerland next week and learn harder names than that. So, yeah.
Ardic.
Get ready for a butcher. If Ardic is there racing, I can't wait to see you at Racing Unleashed, buddy.
I'm currently on board with Shane right now. Currently, he's in the final sector, and he is on a valid lap time. He's not popped up purple. He's not popped up in the sectors of going slower and invalidating his lap time, but he has got a car right in front of him.
Yeah, that's Pepe.
It's 57 of Pepe.
Yeah,
so he might get a little bit of toe towards the line here. Shane towards the line, and he does a 56.2.
And that is the benchmark, and you'll possibly see times like that coming in Pro. Good evening, Peaceful Stepdad. A nice one, Matt. That's a corker. It genuinely is, my friend. Ardic is coming towards the line. He's side by side with Kieran Argent, and Argent doesn't improve his time. Ardic finds a little more pace, as that is car 22 of KLF, currently sitting P4. A good spot for Kelly. Only needs to find about half a second to improve his lap time, but doesn't find it there. What about PM Motorsport? He's not improved either. A couple of lads not yet on a lap time. The Green Wolfinator, Dan, struggling to get a lap time in at the moment. Still hasn't got a lap time in now. And car number 69 and 8 of the MC Motorsport Lamborghinis also both struggling to find a lap time and get it on the board. Track limits, Dan, tonight is going to be the key.
Yeah, definitely so. As I'm just seeing Daz automatic in the final corner, I believe he is on a valid lap time. Thanks, Dan, for laughing. Broke me. You're welcome, Disco. Anytime that Matt makes a cock up, I'm there to exploit it for sure. But Daz across the line. Yeah, it is going to be so interesting about track limits. I mean, it's so. We've gone to Silverstone and we've done Catalonia, and it kind of it's been. I say rewarding, not rewarding. It's been kind to us. Those circuits. We could take a lot of track limits. Cops was a very obvious example. You could take Cops so fast, so heavy, and get away with it, you know. But here at Paul Ricard, you take an inch too far, a millimetre too far, and you're way off keeping within track limits, and the game will punish you like that. Already in practice and testing where we've done race runs, drivers have picked up drive-through penalties, so you will see multiple pit lane drive-throughs if these guys are not sticking to the rules here. It is literally going to be on a knife edge. Argent in the final corner now to complete his final lap time.
It is indeed to complete the final lap time. One man who's not going to get a lap time on the board, and that will be Welshie, which actually does Dean and Bryn a favour. It promotes them up the grid a little bit. Argent then to complete his lap time. He stays P2 on the grid provisionally. Ardic to the line, but he is on an invalid lap time. Car 22 of KLF. He's coming to the line. Can he find any more pace? He does. Goes P3. Good lap time from him. PN Motorsport. He's the next man to find a lap time, can he? He does. Stays P7. The Wolfenator, Dan, to the line, isn't going to get a lap time in here. So for the Wolfenator, it's a disappointing end to his qualifying.
Daz has just been blocked by Stealth Sloth. He's able to just complete his lap time. The rear end's not happy on that Ferrari, but I say blocked, it was just misplacement, I think. And Stealth Sloth also on a still valid lap time, so he will jump at least Dean and Bryn. But Welshie, no lap time from him either. But Daz crosses the line, and he does improve, but doesn't go up higher than the order. Dan
Stealth Sloth didn't get a lap time in. I wonder if he got that towards the end then. Invalidated it maybe at the final corner then. So Shane is your provisional pole man, and every Q1 this season, Shane has taken pole position. He has been the man on form in qualifying. Kelly, that is a fantastic lap time P3. One man we didn't speak of, Dan, in qualifying is Holty. Only P4 for him.
Yeah, but I don't think this is very much a Bentley circuit. I think that this circuit will definitely benefit the like I said, the mid-engine cars. Even I think this is too tricky for even the McLaren. The McLaren's too long a wheelbase car. I think it's more base for the Ferrari, the Lamborghini, and I think the Audi. These are the cars that should be strong around here. But I think for the Bentley, it's not its strongest track. But I might be wrong. I might be wrong.
Well, we'll see, won't we, tonight? We'll see tomorrow night. 4 wins the Bentley has taken. Shane has taken his 4th pole position. All 3 Q1s and a Q2 pole position for Shane, giving Lamborghini its 54th pole position here at Simplay Motorsport in the GT3 category. We obviously go back to the Project Cars 2 days as well. And for Shane, that is his 6th pole position, putting him on the level of the D-Bigs and the Green Pies. There's no there before their PSN names. So just Green Pies and D-Bigs, we'll stick with them. 6 pole positions between them apiece. He's now one behind Sutti Apex, Monkey Boy, BT Targa and Amplava. The problem for Shane is, Dan, can he now convert it to a win? Who's your tip for the win this one?
20 seconds.
Oh, you can't look past Shane. The thing is, I've been doing race runs with him and he is literally on my pace at times. So you can't look his way. As long as he keeps it on track, keeps it within track limits and doesn't push too hard, you can't look further than Shane. But keep out for a surprise possibly from the likes of KLF, Holty and obviously Argent. And what can Pepe do in the Aston Martin? You know, he's up there as well. He's going to give it a good shot. My screen's really rubbish here, so I'm just going to leave it to Matt to try and sort this out.
Well,
but the Paul Ricard circuit has been categorised as a high-speed circuit, and the best cars for this circuit would have been the Mercedes-Benz and the McLaren. Are very strong options, but it's actually the Ferrari that would have been the #1 option.
Which I find surprising. I also found surprising that this track was built as a test circuit. It wasn't meant for racing on. It was built as a test circuit, and yet we've had Formula 1 and we have the GT World Challenge come here and all sorts race around this beautiful Paul Ricard circuit. But for this 3rd race of the season, this round 5, it's green and go, and Argent tries to get the jump on Shane early as they come down towards the first corner. It looks like the big boat of the Bentley gets alongside Shane, pulls in front, but it's a left-hander for turn 1. Watch for chaos in the background. Shane makes it through. I think Kelly's had a little bit of a moment further back. He must have done. He's tumbled. In fact, he's off. He's coming back on track, but down the order he has gone. Shane from Argent. Holty already up into 3rd with Daz 4th. Smithy, what a stuff. I know that was Smithy who was off. Kelly has dropped back behind Daz, so he's down in 5th place now. Pepe's still 6th. With PN Motorsport. Who is that? Stop go. That is Addy. Stop go penalty already. Where has he cut? Wow, he's missed a lot of the tracks. He's slowing down. He's mid-pack. And he must have cut a lot of the circuit there to get a stop-go penalty within the first lap down. But it's Shane from Argent. Holty in 3rd place. Daz 4th. Kelly 5th. Pepe's in 6th. Bryn 7th. Smithy 8th. Wolfenator 9th. Dean Wasocki 10th. Stealth Sloth 11th. Welshie 30th. DJ Phil 40th. PN It will be 14th after Addy does his stop-go penalty. It's saying that he is still in the lead, but that must have been just as he'd gone through sector 1.
Yeah,
it now starts to update.
He missed a sector. That's probably why. So obviously the split sector would have been just at the slow right-hander. Further in the background, Pepe is having a fight with Bryn. He's slowly working his way back up the order, and now he's onto the back of KLF. But Pepe goes down the inside once again, gets alongside Bryn, and Bryn has to pull out of that one. But great racing from these two already, but Shane already doing what he needs to do. He needs to break that toe to Arjun, because it looks like the Bentley is stronger in a straight line than the Lamborghini at the minute.
It does indeed. Just finished watching the end of that Bryn and Pepe battle. Bryn got back up the inside, but he said to me earlier today, Dan, that the rear just feels a little loose on the car, and it looked a little loose as it twitched through this final sector, as he said, where he's struggling. But Shane, like you say, doing what he does best. Has he just sacrificed a bit in the court in the straights? We know how quick he was. Shane from Argent from Holty, Daz, Kelly, with Bryn on the back of KLF now. Pepe's dropped back a little bit. Then it comes the Green Wolfinator as they cross the line. It will be Smithy to cross the line. P9, there he is. It's Welshie 10th, DJ 11th. Dean Wysocki must feel like he's battling DJ. And Dean, might be Dean who's having a bit of lag. We'll just jump off that a moment. But Dean didn't get the job done. PN up to 13th. Addy into the pit. Sorry, not Addy. Ardick into the pits with a penalty. I've got to be careful how I say this now, but Shane down out front. 1.3 second gap. Holty and Argent side by side, and Argent had a bit of a slide. Is that what you was woeing at?
Yeah, Argent having a little bit of a moment. These two are too busy racing each other, and I know that you really do have to be careful when racing your teammate, because you might end up crashing into him. Sorry, Fury. But as we go down the back straight, you can just see that Argent just seems to have better straight line speed, and this is probably what's maybe struggling. As I say that, Holty now clears him. These two needs to make their mind up who's leading by the time they get to the right-hander, because Daz and KLF are catching on them very quickly. Two cars that are probably set up for downforce and trying to catch them as best they can. Now
Holty there on the camera angle coming through the corner was very wide. Daz in the background has a moment on the curb, keeps it all together, but his tyres made to be a little hot. He's a bit slippery through this right-hander. Holty there, Dan, was all over the curb. Two wheels on the blue stuff over the curb. That's possibly his first warning at least.
DJ Phil is having a fight with Welshie. It's a great little scrap towards the back. Phil was caught right onto the back of Welshie, and I think Welshie's just struggling with the rear of his car ever so slightly. Dean's down the inside of Phil, so Phil's unsure. Phil's gone very, very wide, and Dean's now dropped it himself. So both of these two just struggling in the dirty air, and this is what these boys have to learn from project cars to this. Dirty air on this game is much more affected than just a little bit of turbulent air. As you can see here, Dean really struggling. If he overheats those tyres or even flat spots them, he's in a lot of trouble.
He's going to be in a lot of trouble, yes he is, as this game a lot more realistic than project cars, so we know that these guys have got to start to learn these realistic bits here. Kelly, like you say, down on the back of Daz here as he's going for the move into turn 1. Is he? No, he's not. Thought better of it, but the McLaren, Dan, tell you what, Kelly looks like he's got this one hooked up at the moment.
Yeah, he looks comfortable. I wouldn't say he's quick, but he's comfortable. He knows where the limits are with his car. He knows how much he can push and the limits of the circuit. And I think Daz is possibly just pushing his car a little bit too hard at the minute. Maybe overheating those tyres there slightly. And I think that's the same problem with the Bentley. You really do have to nurse your tyres. Look after them. The first couple of laps, it's very easy to get eager or confident and try and send it straight away. But you do have to nurse these tyres. You have to look after them.
You do indeed. Green Wolfinator kind of on his own in P8 at the moment, not really being able to do anything. Welshie looks like he started to get the car under control. He's just gaining on the back of his rival Smithy. The pit window opens, 20 minutes to complete your stop. Then you've got to do that mandatory stop. Dean has DJ Phil on the back of him. PN's on the back of Stealth Sloth as well at the moment. So down this back end of the grid, Dan, there is a fair few drivers all fighting for this one little spot at the moment, and it's a real gaggle of cars having a good little scrap.
Yeah, definitely so, and I think this is what one of the good things about Paul Ricard is that I think the thing about Paul Ricard is there's so many opportunities to overtake, but it's tricky to get the move completely done.
Yeah.
So it's I think it's definitely a trap where you have to be smart with your moves. You have to set someone up, maybe not necessarily to do it in one corner, but you might have to set up 3 corners before you even get there.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. DJ Phil within a tenth then of Dean Wysocki as he's looking to make a move. That gap looks like it's opened up a little bit. Dean, though, a bit heavier on the brakes than Phil. As Welshie then is looking up the inside of Smithy. Looks to get that one done, but they're still side by side. Smithy on the curb a little bit. Welshie's going to have the inside line for the next left-hander before the final corner. Can Smithy keep it around the outside? No, he can't. This may invite Dean Wysocki up the inside. It really has done here. Good opportunistic move from Dean. Smithy just taps the rear, and now they both outbrake themselves. As does DJ Phil, and gives Dean an almighty whack into the side of his car, and that will allow PN Motorsport to, just Stealth Slough to go through. PN didn't get the run as he's the first man in the pit lane.
Meanwhile, Bryn is starting to put pressure on Kelly. He's brought that gap down. It was 4/10 when they crossed the start-finish line. As they come through the first sector, looks like he's just eked that gap out ever so slightly. 1.1 now, but Bryn is working his way onto the back of these cars. And again, that Lamborghini power seems to be very, very good around here. And Bryn now is onto the back of KLF. What can he do as KLF is still trying to work his way past Daz?
He is as well. Just gone back to the scrap at the back again. Indeed, Wysocki has got back ahead of Smithy and Stealth Slough. So that damage doesn't seem to be too major, if any, on Dean Wysocki's car. Well, she's had a moment through this little left-hander. Dean's very twitchy and very all over the place at the moment, but keeps it on the road. He's back up ahead of a few drivers. He's in 10th place, but there is a gaggle of cars. Stealth Slough, Smithy, DJ Phil, all battling. In fact, DJ Phil there giving Smithy a cheeky little flash of the lights as PN and Addy still in the pits. And Dan, a long pit lane this week. Paul Ricard, very, very long pit lane. You do not want to get this one wrong.
No, you don't. I'm currently just keeping an eye on the front runners while you keep an eye on that scrap. But Holty's actually keeping Shane in distance. He's not letting him get away. We've seen Shane's pace, especially his race pace, is very, very good. But Holty's keeping with him. He's sticking with him. He's not allowing him to get away. 1.4 was the last split the last time cross, and I think he's a little bit closer. But I just think the Lamborghini's just got the traction on the guys behind him.
Yeah, it looks to be the case, because I've just changed to Stealth Slough as DJ Phil's got past Smithy. Stealth Slough in the last sector at the moment just seems to have that little edge over Dean in the corners. Maybe that's the setup changes they've gone there. Jamie, if the GTO Challenge was actually at Paul Ricard today, well, let us know who was the quickest car or what was the quickest car out of these that was on the grid. As Stealth Slough now, he's lost a bit of time, made a mistake through one of the corners. He's now very slidey, very slippy. Wide he goes, manages to hang on to that, but that would have done his tyres no favours whatsoever. DJ Phil around the outside, contact made, Phil goes wide. Stealth Slough carries on his way.
Yeah, the back end of the pack really look like they're having a good scrap, but towards the front, I think a lot of these guys just seem to be struggling with dirty air now, as Holty and Arjun are really struggling. Look like they got a bit of understeer into the starting the second sector, heading towards the start straight. They just understeer ever so slightly in the right-hander.
Oh, Stealth Slough!
Struggling.
Apologies, Dan. Stealth Slough round all on his own at turn 2. He got it all out of shape coming through 1, and he's lost the rear at turn 2. That's going to really hurt the tyres. Smithy managed to get back ahead of DJ Phil as a result of Phil having to avoid Stealth Slough, and that's kind of put to bed this battle at the back.
Holty's starting to lose time to Arjun now. Arjun's starting to gain on him. I think Holty's had a couple of laps where he's just abused the tyres a little bit more, while the rest of the guys seem to have a little bit more of a space between them. 1.6, 1.5, 1.6 between KLF, Bryn and Pepe, so they're all evenly spread out. But Arjun now starting to put the pressure on his teammate, which is allowing Shane to use that Lamborghini magic and pull away.
And Dan, what did we say earlier? We said last night off air in testing that Bentley seems to be a slow starter. It seems to come to you after them first opening laps. It's a 2-minute a lap circuit near enough. That 10 minutes is about 5 laps we've had. It's 4. We're at the end of the 5th now, so that is probably enough for the Bentley's tyres to start to come to you. Is Kieran finding this? And is this why Kieran's now starting to work onto the back of Holty as we cross the line? The gap Holty to Shane, 2.6. The gap Holty to his teammate, 1.3, as KLF darts for the pit lane. And I did notice in the background...
Had a big slide.
I did notice in the background that Kelly got the pit lane done. This is something we've not mentioned. Pit entry and exit, so crucial here. You're no longer allowed to cross the white lines. And if the drivers on the circuit, where you come out the pitch, you're in the racing line. If drivers on the circuit...
he's had a big drift into the final sector. It was very sideways. I couldn't believe how sideways he was.
So Welsh carries on his way. If drivers are exiting the pit, because it brings you out on the racing line, it is those guys on the tracks prerogative to make sure they avoid contact. The only time it's the driver in the pit lane's prerogative to stay where they are is in qualifying. So hopefully, you know, the admins will keep an eye on this, and any reports coming about pit lane violations, we'll keep our eyes on it. But Kelly, PN and Ardic, the only man's into the pits.
Yeah, and I think this is a good strategy here from Kelly. He was stuck in the dirty air of Daz, and he had Bryn behind him as well. So now, if he's going to drop himself, he's going to lose quite a lot of time, actually. PN and Ardic aren't actually a million miles away. As
Kelly's just being released.
Oh yeah, because Ardic has obviously the time penalty at the beginning as well, so he's now been released. So actually Kelly's got quite a bit of time to PN, who's just ahead of the leading pack. Yeah. So Kelly right now might have played a blinder here where he's just got a little bit of clean air, but he has got to clear Ardic first.
He has got to clear Ardic indeed. He's actually got, who's that behind him? Where is KLF on the circuit? Just trying to look on the little track map. He is there. Car 186. That's the Wolfenator. He looked a little slow. He's carrying on his way. He's not actually a million miles away, Dan. Behind DJ Phil and Dean Wasocki here. Dean's actually had a moment. No, in fact, he's just passed Welshie as Dean. So Dean gets past Welshie. Halty into the pits. They're just coming into the big, long right-hander. Welshie, this is a drift. If this was a drift competition, points for Welshie in this one. Pepe in the pits. Kelly isn't actually a million miles away, Dan.
Wolfenator's in as well, and he's just crossed that white line.
Oh, we'll have to keep our eyes on that one. Obviously, rules and regulations state you've got to make sure you come into the pits early. Come into the pits and not cross the white line. So 3 drivers coming in. 12 and a half minutes left of the session. Sorry, Dan.
I was just trying to answer JB's question. I was thinking the same. Mercedes is it that's probably went fastest in the real world. Mercedes is actually, like I said, one of the cars that's probably favoured around here because of the straight line advantage, high speed track. Even though I feel like ACC really dampers the actual pace of the Mercedes on this. Well, Project Cars, it was OP. On here, it's very much an equaliser.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Halty's green. Where is Kelly? He's only into the final corner now. So that one lap wasn't really enough for Kelly to be on the back of him, but he's really fighting Daz and Bryn.
Yeah.
So he needs to clear Daz, really, and Daz is 7.6 off the back of Arjun. Arjun right on the back of Halty, so we see where that drops him in.
Pepe just come over the pit line and got released, just as Kelly was sort of side by side with him. Ardic, though, managed to obviously read the rule regulations and avoid Pepe coming out the pits as Pepe puts the lap back on him. DJ Phil is the next man into the pit lane. Bryn only 1.6 behind Daz at the moment then, Dan. So at the minute, you know, it's looking all right for everybody so far.
Yeah, definitely so. A little bit... it's calmed down a little bit than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a bit more of a hectic race, but so far, so good.
I found out the fastest cars, so there was 4 sessions. There was a day 1, day 2, 2 morning sessions and 2 afternoon sessions. On day 1, it was the Audi Evo 2, which isn't available to us on the PS4 version of Assetto Corsa Competizione. On the afternoon session, it was the Audi that Jamie and Smokey Devil run that was the quickest. On day 2, both times, different teams, but both times it was a Mercedes AMG. So just goes to show that the Audi, Daniel was right, you know, the Audi right up there with its times.
Well, you know, this game is meant to be as close to realistic as possible, so
right.
I wasn't a million miles away.
Kelly, on his on the long left-hander, Daz in the pits. This is crucial time now for Kelly to see where he will come out in terms of this sort of session today. Just looking at other cars that we have on our grid, Ferraris was mid-pack. There was a Honda that was mid-pack. Not that there's any Hondas on the grid. McLaren's again sort of down the field. The Porsche 992 was 4th fastest. Obviously, there's no Porsches out here tonight. There is no Bentleys on this list, so nobody choosing to run the Bentley. But a lot of Lamborghinis towards the bottom end of the list.
This is going to be tight, Kelly. This is going to be tight between Daz and Kelly as Arjun comes out just behind his teammate.
I think Kelly's got the jump.
Daz
gone green. He's away. Kelly's past him.
Yeah.
Kelly's jumped him.
Pepe's there, so it's going to be close to Pepe. So Bryn here might have missed something as 35 stop and go time penalty speeding in the pit lane. That is Daz.
So that is crucial. So it doesn't matter to Bryn if Daz. It doesn't matter if Daz will lose out to Bryn, because he's bound to lose out to Bryn now. Welshie and Smithy in the pits. Dean Wysoki's now crawled his way up to 3rd place due to not pitting yet, as has Bryn and Shane. Teammates can't pit on the same lap. Shane, just noticed here, obliged to the rules and regulations, straight into the pits, lap 7. Bryn should take this race lead. And Dan, that has really ruined Daz's race here.
Yeah, it has. It's not been the best thing for him there, as Bryn exits the final corner and carries on for another lap. That's ruined Daz's race now. There's no way he can recover that. The only thing that's going to help him now is a reverse grid, which will hopefully, with the pace he has and the guys he will be qualifying with, it should put him on pole. So that'll be an advantage for him. But right now, it's all about focusing on the feature race now.
Yeah, going into race 2, that could really help Daz. Dean Wysoki, the top 3 left to pit, should I say. Pepe
Arjun had a very wide moment going into the quick right hand, and he's
off.
He's gone wide. He's got very wide into the gravel, into the horrible blue tarmac. And as you were explaining to me, Matt, on the while we were practicing and getting the session ready, the blue actual tarmac is actually rougher than a normal tarmac. So it's actually there to damage your tyres if you run wide.
Yeah, it is indeed. It will really hurt your tyres. You'll feel vibrations as Dean gets into the pit lane now, then it looks like on our timing screens. Shane is done and away. Holty's only just left the final corner. Shane is nearly at turn 1. He's got a healthy lead here, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, and I think the only person who can stop him now is himself.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, further back down the order, I think Welshie's had a slight moment because he's lost time to DJ Phil and Smithy onto the back of them as well. So this is started to become a great little scrap again.
Yep, Smithy and Welshie's had some great battles in the past, and they're carrying it on here on ACC once again. DJ Phil trying to gain on the back of Welshie there. Daz is in the pit, so the Wolfinator goes through. Ardic unlaps himself. PN Motorsport not yet at the final corner, and his teammate then. We had 15 start this race, which means the top 8 cannot qualify for this one, as I'm led to believe. Half of 16 is 8, so yeah, that is bang on correct. Dean in the pits. PN coming down the start straight. He was an early pit stop man. Welshie was in a fight with Dean, let's not forget, so Dean has not yet been dropped, as Welshie is approaching the final corner now. Just a little left-hand kink. Dean is now dropped and away. Dean may have really jumped Welshie here by going longer as Bryn comes into the pits.
Yeah, Shane's now into the final sector, so obviously Shane's not really his fight. His fight is the KLF scrap, who's on the back straight. Now, I think what I figured it out, if you were starting the back straight, it was going to be tight. So Kelly's halfway down the back straight when Bryn came in, so I think Kelly might have it, but only just. But I don't know. I don't know what these guys' lap times are doing. I don't know how quick they're going, so it all depends on that as well.
Daz has just exited the pit lane, Dan, and for Daz, it's dropped him down to P13 at the moment as Stovsloff moves to one side. I don't think he's coming into the pits now. He has Shane behind him and is letting Shane go. The blue flags wave, and he doesn't have to move out of the way, don't forget, but he even looked like he had a cheeky bit of a lift off the throttle there, did Stovsloff, so nice to see him. Right, on board Kelly. Bryn's yet to go green. Kelly's coming into the final corner now. If he can get out this final corner before Bryn goes green, this could be extremely tight. It's going to be tight. Bryn's still not gone green. Kelly passes pit entry as Bryn goes green now. Where is Bryn away? You hear the engine just start to ignite and come on, and Kelly has jumped Bryn ever so just. Pepe is not close enough. Kelly then moves himself up to P4. Great strategy from Kelly to come in early.
Yeah, definitely so. But a reminder here as well, Bryn has to get those tyres up to temperature.
Yeah.
He needs to get them into the window very, very quickly, or else Pepe will be onto the back of him. But right now, it's an even spread between those guys for 4th, 5th, and 6th. And all now it takes for Kelly is one of the leaders to make a mistake.
Dean was a little loose and he went wide. Welshie got past him. Obviously, Dean's just come out the pits. He's on his outlap. Welshie then goes wide at the right hand, and Dean's off. So Dean just got back out of Welshie. Dean is off. Phil and Smithy, I believe, have gone past. No, Smithy's not quite yet gone past. But for Dean, he's lost 2 more places, and he's going to have to work hard to get them back again.
Yeah, definitely so. I think right now, the man, it's just got to keep an eye on what he's doing at the minute. It's probably Arjun. He's had a couple of Larry moments now on his own, where he's just run a little bit wide on this fast right-hander that he's coming to. And he's also obviously missed his braking, or something's not gone right, and he's gone a little bit deep into the next right-hander as well. So maybe just keep an eye on his tyres. He's
done it
gone
again.
wide again.
Yeah.
He's gone very wide again. Track limits there. That will class as a track limit if he goes too many times over that.
And 4 warnings. We know he's a drive-through penalty, Dan. And, well, how many warnings are these drivers on? I actually have Dean and PN Stream next to me, and they are on 0 warnings themselves. So they've done really well to not do that. But we think Kieran is at least on 1.
Right on the back of Welshie.
So let's go down to this battle now then. DJ Phil seems to be making some good progression up the field at the moment. Currently sat P10. Welshie's in 9th, so not a bad place for Welshie. This is all really for the best of the rest. Was that Welshie off? No, might have been a little wide, but he's managed to hold the position. You see Dean there in the background, and Smithy, I don't think he's a million miles away. No, there he is. He's just been passed by Daz Automatic. We've got a charging Daz coming through this battle here as well, Dan. So this could get interesting here as DJ Phil looking to go side by side with Welshie. That McLaren looks a bit quicker in the straight line than Welshie's Lamborghini.
Yeah, it looks like so. I'm just keeping an eye on the leaders again, all back consistency. Holty's now coming onto the back of Stealth Sloth, so he's going to have to try and lap him as quickly as he possibly can. He's luckily going to catch him down the back straight.
That's twice now DJ Phil's passed somebody on the straight to the quick right-hander, and just looks like they chopped the nose off. There's a car that's gone very wide. That is Dean Wysocki. He's lost it on the blue stuff. That is going to hurt the tyres. Smithy and Daz go through. Stealth Sloth is on his way. He's got Holty right behind him as well as Dean rolls to go again, but that is going to hurt his tyres a lot.
Holty clears Stealth Sloth, no problem. Archer's actually extending the gap now onto Kelly. I think Kelly's not had the best first sector, but either way, Kelly's right there, right where he needs to be, just in case if anything happens to the leaders. And we've already seen that Archer's had a couple of layering moments. Holty's obviously just trying to get into the groove as well. And this is only the half-an-hour race. Yeah. But so they have to do the full hour.
Yeah, exactly. Daz Automatic charging through the field. Welshie very wide. DJ Phil less so, but still wide. Daz, thank you, Mama, for the carrots up the inside of Welshie. And on the back then of DJ Phil as they come down to start their 10th lap of the race. They've got Smithy not a million miles away in the background. And Daz Automatic really charging through the field now. He moves up to P10 ahead of Welshie. He's looking around the outside of turn 1 on DJ Phil. That was an optimistic move. It was like a send it almost around the outside, but it did not work for him. Daz though charging at the moment.
He is indeed, as yeah, I'm watching, just keeping an eye on the leaders, and Arjun runs wide in the final corner right onto the yellow sausage curbs, and you do not want to be near those things at all. The game will be not too pleased that you're over there. It feels like you're abusing the track limits, and Argent just flirting with the curbs at the minute, I think.
They've done well in this first half-an-hour race to not have a drive-through penalty for track limits. I'm very surprised. We haven't had one yet from a few drivers. They look like they've pushed the boundaries a little bit. Daz, though, on the back of Phil, 0.8 of a second. Down the back straight they come. He's not quite close enough at the minute to make this one happen. DJ Phil looks like he's got it covered so far. DJ Phil looks like he's got a good car at the moment.
Shane's in cruise mode right now. He's not extending the gap to Holty. I don't think he is pushing that hard. He's just maintaining that gap right now, 8.9. I reckon he could push harder if he wanted to, but he knows he's got the gap. He needs these points, really. As he had a very strong Catalonia and a very strong Silverstone, but he just kept making silly errors himself. He needs this race to get himself back into this championship.
He's got as well, Dan, is cruise control. Like you say, he's 9.2 now to Holty. He's got traffic in front of him. It's the traffic of Dean Wysocki, Smithy, Welshie, Daz Automatic and DJ Phil. So he's got a bit of traffic coming up, and maybe that bit of a buffer he's got at 9.2 seconds may just start to come down over the next couple of moments. But we're 5 minutes 46 seconds left of this race, and it's just started to peter out a bit. Great battle though at this backfield. Phil, Welshie, Smithy, Dean. Now with Daz involved, there's been a battle all race that has kind of gone on and on, while the others out front seem to be matching each other. Daz now looks like he's getting closer to Phil. That gap's now 0.4 of a second. But no can do. Shane has lapped Dean on the track map. He has got past one of his targets then. And will he extend that gap to Holty while doing so? If he does, you could tell that he's in cruise control.
Phil, he's had a big wobble. He's had a big moment. This has given Daz the opportunity to go down the inside and attack into the end of the first sector. Sorry, he's down the inside of Phil, but Phil runs wide, and that's it. Daz has gone through. Welshie though should be close on the scene as well to try and take advantage from that mistake from Phil, but Phil losing out to Daz, and Daz finally clearing him. It was top 8 can't qualify, right?
Yeah, top 8.
He's just in that.
Got to catch his teammate at the moment, and PN, he says, I'm getting quite used to this, not qualifying at the minute. Smithy stays right out the way of Shane, who comes through to put a lap on him. So Shane has cleared 2 of the 5. Daz may be a little harder to catch, but you see there in the background, there was Holty. 8.6 now the gap. So has Shane just been held a little, but Holty's now coming up to the pack of Dean Wysocki and Smithy. So this could give him a chance to lose a bit of time. Argent losing time, hand over fist to his teammate at the minute. And Kelly losing a bit of time to Argent, so it's just a shame that Kelly's pace has kind of gone off a little bit at the end. Bryn not really being dropped by Kelly, he's kind of just there at the minute. Kelly and him seem to be quite consistent, as do Pepe. They all seem to be lapping very consistently with each other. And the Wolfenator tonight, Dan, we've seen him run at the front most weeks so far, just struggling for pace out there in this McLaren.
I think Kelly's the only real good McLaren driver here tonight at the minute. He seems to know. I think it's a circuit again that favours Kelly. It's not, again, Matt, you were struggling the other night, not just obviously with setup, but just with the general track. Yeah. You do have to find the right lines, and I guess this is just a Kelly circuit. Patient, slow, take your time, and with that you get rewarded.
And Kelly, we know Kelly is a patient driver. He has been all the time in Pro-Am, and he was in Pro, and this is a track where you can get rewarded. Shane comes through to start lap 13 then, and with just under 3.5 minutes left of this first race, Shane has a great lead out front. Just looking at the lap times further down the order, Dean starting to gain on Smithy, Welshie being dropped by Phil, Phil's been dropped by Daz Automatic. PN is 10 seconds behind the Wolfenator, and for Daz to catch his teammate, well, Daz is pretty much a whole sector behind, so I don't think that one is going to happen. But Dan, Shane, no traffic for a couple of laps at the moment while he catches Welsh. He's got that gap back up to 9 seconds to Holty.
Yeah, definitely. So at this point, if I was Shane right now, I would not be wanting to try and catch any traffic at all. Just like, especially with 2 minutes left to go, just take your time, work your way through the order, because at the minute, Holty, every time Shane clears the car, Holty then has to clear a car. So it's just being patient, taking your time, and Holty right now has got Smithy now to clear, and it's just going to take him a bit of time to clear that car.
Shane, I think, has had a bit of a poor first sector. This lap gap's come down 0.6 of a second, and Shane hasn't lapped anybody this time around. For Holty, though, he's got Smithy coming up to lap, so bit of traffic for Holty to clear at the minute, and a bit of traffic for Shane, although it's a fellow Lamborghini of Welshie bouncing over the curbs, and you can run that curb quite a lot coming through the fast right-hander. You can kind of run off of it a little bit, but it is a bouncy curb that things can go wrong with if you get it wrong. Dean's lost time to Smithy then, but 13th place,
Smithy's
points. Has he?
Smithy's made a mistake. Dean has now gone back ahead of him.
There we go then. Dean then up to 12 ahead of Smithy. Welshie's 10 seconds up the road as Shane's gaining on the back of him. So points for Dean. Obviously had a qualifying ban. Bryn, by the way, Bryn had a qualifying ban. He's 5th place. He's had a great race.
He has indeed, and again, that just makes me say that the Lamborghini suits this circuit. Bryn coming from the back of the pack all the way to 5th place as well. Probably got a little bit lucky at the start of the race also, but either way, Bryn is up into 5th place where he needs to be and supporting his teammate as best he can. Pepe also quiet race for himself, but he's had a good consistent one. 6th place at the minute, and the Wolfenator, again, I just don't think it's a McLaren circuit, and I think he's just trying to do the best he can with what he's got.
Have to agree. Race control then tells us that it is the final lap of the race. The leader is on that final lap. Welshie went very wide at the last corner to allow Shane through. The gap to Holty is 8.6 seconds, but Holty's got there is traffic between him and Shane, so while ever Shane's got that buffer in between, he's kind of sitting pretty, and for this lap he can just relax a bit. One thing I have noticed is Bryn lost a bit of time to Kelly. He's gained it back, and Pepe's got that gap under 4 seconds, so Bryn needs to make sure he brings it home at the end. He's kind of had a thing this season at the moment where he's just struggled at the end of the races to get to the end. Here comes Shane then on the back of DJ Phil to put a lap on him. And, well, you've just got to take your hat off and give him a bow, haven't you? He's been dominant in qualifying. He's been dominant in this race. The closest someone come to passing him was Argent and him side by side at turn 1. Lap.
Yeah, that's as about as close as he got. Shane, for one, has gone his way. He's had a little bit of luck, just kept his nose clean and did exactly what you need to do. Let the car do what it's good at and just pull away from the boys behind. Even though the only downside to this race so far is that Holty is right behind him in points. So
DJ Phil went I didn't see him on the camera there. He's back on track. He disappeared for a moment to let Shane through. I wondered where he'd gone, if he'd had a moment or something, because Welsh is not a million miles away. But then Shane, 4 pole positions he's taken this season. He's yet to stand on that top step of the podium. It has been a fantastic start to his night. Only 1 race he's not finished on the podium, but he's not yet won. And he rounds the final corner, and he's going to come to the line, and it is going to be Shane who takes his first win of the season, and a great result for him in this one. Fantastic race win for him. Holty, points in the bag, 2nd place, loses a few to Shane in this, but I'm sure he'll be happy with that. Argy Bargy's coming to the line. It's not the win for the Bentley that Bentley would have wanted, but Argent will come and take a P3 and be happy with that one. Kelly then is P4. Other finishers at the moment: DJ Phil has finished in 10th place, Welshie has finished in P11, Dean has finished in P12. Kelly rounds the final corner. This is a great result for Kelly. 4th place for him. Fantastic job. Bryn's going to come to the line as well. He's going to take a P5. Solid points for him. Pepe, in the end, another P6 and another good result. Best finish of a top 4 this season. The Wolfenator just didn't seem to have the pace tonight. Smithy as well, just to note, while we wait for the Wolfenator to come round. Smithy has finished in P13 still. Sloth has finished in P14. And Ardic has finished in P15. But the Wolfenator rounds the final corner. It will be a 7th place for him. And a good result in the end, as PN Motorsport now is going to come to the line. He's going to take himself a P8. He cannot qualify. And Daz, the last, or will be the last of the finishers. We have to wait for Ardic as well, who is just in front of Daz. So we'll see Ardic come to the line as well. And Dan, a decent first race, that.
Decent. Well, it was absolutely dominated by Shane. He had it all under control. Nothing. He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't put a foot wrong. The only thing that went wrong was that Horty finished in 2nd. That's the only thing. But no, it was a good, great race. Guys in the back having a good scrap. The guys at the front, though, keeping it consistent, keeping it clean. And I'll tell you what, I reckon Kelly's going to be happy with that one. He needed finally a good result to kind of give him the boost he needs for racing on this game, because it's still a completely new platform to him, completely new way of racing on here. And I think a 4th place, that's a great start for Kelly's night.
It's a fantastic start for Kelly tonight. He'll be absolutely over the moon with that one, no doubt then. As that then is all we have for race 1. Don't go anywhere. Grab yourself a nice cup of coffee. Oh, as Welshie there has hit a parked up Addy there. But grab yourself a nice cup of coffee. Get yourself to the toilet. Have a few refreshments. We'll be back in a few moments' time.
Green light.
podium of Holty and Argent. But before we get into the podium, then we're going to look at the championship standings. And for the current, for the time being, after race 1 and round 5 of the season, Holty leads the way 6 points clear of Argent and Shane. So Shane's got himself level pegging with Argent in this one. As we said at the beginning of the season, points are a lot closer together this season, so it's no longer a 5-point gap for a win, it's only 2, so it's a lot harder to close that gap. KLF now sitting in P4 ahead of the Wolfenator by 3 points, with Peppy P6. PN moves up to 7th with Bryn up into 8th. Smithy's down in 9th with Welshie 10th. Daz Automatic up to 11th place, 1 point clear of DJ Phil. Smithy, Welshie and Daz all actually tied on 50 points, so that is close. Dean 4 points behind DJ Phil in 13th. Stelsloth in 14th. Leon Fernie 15th. And Ardic in 16th place. Ardic. Remember that one, Dan. AH Motorsport lead the Constructors' Championship, 51 points clear of Tickle Pink Motorsports. They've pulled a point over the pink Lamborghinis. Audio Sport are third, 93 behind, with East and West Motorsport on 121. They're only 10 behind Audio Sport. MC Motorsport then, they're on 92, just ahead of the Austrian Racing Club, the independent team of Green Wolfenator. The racing group of Aston Martin's Pepe are in P7 on 76. That's a good one racing of DJ Phil and Leon Fernie are P8. Lone Ranger Racing of Dean Wasaki's on 45, and the solo racer of Ardic is on 18 points. We've got the top 3 in for a quick chat, and we will start with P3 Argent. Kieran, not the pace. You looked like you was challenging Shane at the start, but you didn't have the outright pace in the race.
Yeah, we kind of knew that through practice in the week and earlier this evening. We just don't have the pace for the Lamborghinis around the circuit, so it's pretty much take what we get and just play for another day. Points
in the bag today. You look like you made a few mistakes out there yourself, though.
Yeah, it's just trying to push a bit too hard and just trying to keep up with my teammate and Shane, but had a few slides and just had to correct them or go off. So yeah, it's a bit ragged.
Race 2. What can you do going forward? Looks like you're going to be starting towards the back end of the grid. What can you do from there?
Yeah, it's third week in a row I've been at back row, but it's luck of the draw. See what I can do. Just get, hopefully avoid some drama.
One question for you. How many track limits warnings did you have?
I had 2, but both on the last lap.
There we go then. Best luck for race 2, buddy.
Thank you.
And we move to Holty, and Holty, your run came to an end at race 2 of Silverstone last year of race wins, and there's a bit of a run developing here because that's 2 without a win at the moment. Feeling the pressure?
It's just a very frustrating track, this. I messed up in qualifying, but well done to KLF for getting up there and jumping us. Yeah, it's a track that you've got to be really patient. When you come into a corner, you're off throttle, you just want to get on it, but you can't because you run wide. You can't brake too late because you just overshot the corner. I was doing a bit of practicing with Shane, and just the times he was pumping in, me and Arjun just went, we just need to go for maximum points here. Yeah.
It looked that way as well. Not really many mistakes from your side of the Bentley garage, but just kind of like you say, best of the rest really tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Just the speed of the Lamborghini, the speed it can take into the corners compared to the Bentley. It's just too much. And I was quite surprised how much time I lost when I pitted before Shane as well.
Race 2 coming up, reverse grid. You're going to be looking like you're going to be starting in that mid-pack sort of area. What can we do in that second race?
Hopefully it's a better second race than Silverstone, really. It's going to be a hard race this for an hour around here, especially in traffic. Just hopefully there's no carnage, to be honest with you, and just come away as many points as I can, really.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, buddy. Go and get them.
Cheers.
And we jump then to Shane, your race winner from race 1. And Shane, that was pretty dominant, that was, my friend.
Yeah, I needed it though, to be fair. I didn't need that.
Talk us through it, because obviously pole positions you've had race 1 last week, race 1 the week before, and this week you don't seem... You obviously got it again, but converted it into the win.
Yeah, finally. Yeah, the last 2 times, I think I made mistakes on that one. I didn't do that today, and able to pull away. So.
Was you a bit cautious at the end of the lapped cars that you was catching at the end, because you was catching quite a few?
Yeah, very. How I was very cautious when I was coming up to them. Because you know how that can end.
Yeah. Race 2, you look like you're going to be starting towards the back. What can you do from there?
Take it steady, to be fair. It's an hour long, in it, so yeah, just take it steady. Try and not get damage.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, buddy. Well done.
Cheers, mate.
Right, we are going to just go to a quick break screen. I'm just going to jump out the server and come back in because the camera has stayed static like it did for Dan one time. So I will be back in just a moment's time. Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to Simplay Motorsport. Looks like we've got the issue resolved then here. And it looks like we're able to get on our way back into qualifying. Dan, it's currently Daz Automatic who sits on provisional pole. And we had a very, very kind of mixed podium. Shane delighted. The Bentley boys kind of a little underwhelmed.
Yeah, I think the boys needed to just realise that this was going to be Shane's round to lose. Yeah, they can't be all doom and gloom because they did score second and third. That's good team points. Bryn was down in fifth, so
yeah,
they did score good team points. Holty didn't lose massively out to Shane, so
yeah,
there's still that in mind as well. So yeah, definitely a race that they'll go, okay, Shane's genuinely quick around here, but at the same time they can't walk away and go, well, we did the best that we could. Shane was just better that day.
Yeah, exactly then. Currently on Daz Automatic on a lap. The next car is Ardic on an invalid lap. Car behind him is Stealth Sloth. Got a lap time in this time, but on an invalid one. Smithy's back in the pits. Doesn't look like he's coming out for another run. Dean Welshie on a lap time. They're on a valid one, as is DJ Phil. Top 8 couldn't qualify. That is why there is less cars on the grid if you are new to Simplay Motorsport. If you watched the F1 at the weekend, you'd have heard Crofty a million times say if you're new to Formula 1, we've got 20 different camera angles of the onboard views. I'd love to bring you that, but we're not that good. Not yet.
We've got 15 camera angles that Matt can only choose when he wants.
Yes.
And he also is very good at naming the wrong driver. So also tune in for that, where he says, when you meant to say Ardic, he says A-Dick. So make sure you tune in for that, because all the great things happen here at Simplay Motorsport. And just a reminder as well, if you are watching Simplay Motorsport and you are a new viewer, please hit that subscribe button and hit that bell to be notified so you don't miss any of the action here at Simplay Motorsport, because we have some great racing here, not just in these Pro-Am boys, but tomorrow night will be the pros, as they will take to the circuit. Can the Lamborghini boys carry on the pace that these boys are doing in here, or will the Bentley boys and other guys on the circuit, maybe the McLaren, maybe the Ferraris, give them a headache? But also the biggest one, the one you always want to see, Sunday night. Tune in, as we have got some exciting racing, because Mathew Duffin might struggle once again as we head to Austria for the Red Bull Ring, where hopefully the Red Bulls themselves will hopefully try and do well at their home circuit. Who knows? Anything can happen. My name's Dan Davis, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Back to you, Mathew. Now I've rambled on a little bit.
Cheers, Dan. Thanks for that one. Yeah, if you do want to see all that action...
no. Sorry. I forgot to mention as well, if you haven't done so already, please have a look at our major sponsors as well. Design Manchester, Audio Sport, and CH Designs. Go over to their websites, give them a like and follow on whatever platform that they have. Please go and have a look. If you want anything designed by Design Manchester, I think they do like fancy glasses and stuff
cups,
like that.
T-shirts, what it is.
If you've got a T4 or a T5 that you want modifying and looking just so good, almost as good as these Lamborghinis, then head over to Audio Sport. And if you want some sick liveries or some sick stickers, head over to CH Graphics as well.
I'm so glad you said Design Manchester tonight, because every time I have to edit the F1 highlights and you mention the sponsors, you always call it Made in Manchester or Made Manchester.
Do you know why? Because it says it in the top of the screen there on Simplay Motorsport, sponsored by Design Manchester, Audio Sport, Sealish Designs, and Paul Ricard 2022 here
Can't get
at
it
Assetto
wrong.
Corsa Competizione.
Can't get it wrong.
I still said that wrong.
Can't get it wrong. Either way, Bentley's couple of podiums now puts them on 24 overall. Bentley tomorrow night will make its 50th GT3 appearance, all on ACC. It only made 2 on Project Cars. The Lamborghini's win puts it on to 55 wins, so that's starting to go a little red now as it gets closer to its 100th win, stopping the run of the Bentley, which could have got into double figures for race wins tonight. Hasn't yet, though. Dean Wysocki coming to the final corner, currently 2 seconds off of Daz. Can Dean Wysocki improve his lap time? The only guy who's not got a lap time in at the moment is Ardick, and is currently on a lap. Well, she has just invalidated one. Dean does not get one in. Back to Daz we go, as Daz is on a current best. So Sloth pulls to the side. He will retire the car. He will not get another run in. Smithy, the slowest of the top qualifiers so far in this one then, for the second race. Good plugs, Dan, says Sutty Apex. Very good plugs.
Do you know what? I think some Swiss company should hire me to come and do commentating on some racing league, you know.
I want to put a word in next week.
Oh, yes, please. That'd be great. I've been trying to make you do that for God knows how long, and you still haven't done nothing. And
I actually have.
Mike,
I actually have.
Mathew.
Love the
There
plugs.
you go, guys. There you go. If you want to go and see what
Made in Manchester.
Design Manchester, thank you very much, Mathew Duffin. Don't get it wrong. I never get it wrong. If you want to see what they do, head over to their Facebook pages. Mike has just dropped it down in the chat, and I'll tell you what, we'll carry on with Mathew because I'm gonna do the hard work here. You carry on.
Daz Automatic then coming round the final corner. Stove Sloth's in the pits. Welshie out on track. Dean has decided to pit as well, and in this one here then, it's going to be interesting to see if Daz will improve his lap time. He doesn't. The next car to complete a time will be Ardick then. First man to do a lap time. Or needs to set one, should I say.
Leachy, you don't have a website. Nice.
Here comes Ardick to the final corner. Out the final corner he comes. He's coming to the line. He gets a lap time on the board. It's good enough for P7. DJ Phil then the last man to come to the line and put a lap time on the board, which means all the non-qualifiers are just that. They are where they should be non-qualifying wise. Smithy to the line. Can he improve on his time? 2 seconds off the pole. He goes to within 1.2. That's not bad from him then. As Welshie, the last man to finish at the moment.
This hasn't gone to plan, but yeah.
And Welshie bails to the pit lane then, so that then will be your grid. Daz Automatic will take pole position. He will be joined on that front row by DJ Phil. Row 2 will be Dean Wysocki and Welshie. Row 3, Stealth Sloth and Smithy. Row 4, Ardick and PN Motorsport. Row 5, Kelly and the Wolfinator. Row 6, Holty and Shane. Row 7, Bryn and Peppy. And row number 8 on his own, Argy Bargy.
Argy Bargy.
Argy Bargy. That is Ferrari's 14th pole position here, and that is also Daz's first pole position, I do believe. Might be his second, actually. Can't find Daz Automatics. It is there. It's not working properly, though. That's because I've got it on the wrong one. So if we do that, we do that. No, I'm looking in the wrong column, that's why. There's Daz Automatic. 1 pole position, putting himself on the same amount of poles as Valeside, Richie, PN Motorsport, Phil, John Boy, Gelram, Ben Phelan, Tim, Ivor, and Arts. Then Phil. Remember Phil? Sutty's teammate from back in the day? Phil, Sutty's old teammate, the proper northerner. You know, not like Sutty Apex.
Oh, the guy who properly ran the black and orange.
Yeah, the Acura.
Not this overtaker guy.
Yeah, exactly. Only 1 pole position to his name the whole time he was here.
Oh, has Keek still not got a win? Oh no, I think he did get a win.
Keek's got multiple wins in Pro-Am, didn't he? Won a few in Pro-Am.
Oh yeah. Was it a pole? I can't remember. Who out of the grid is still yet to win a race?
Yet to win a race is
20 seconds.
Don Productions. AH never won a race. A. Smith never won one. Leon Fernie, Mutz Nuts, PN Motorsport, Goten Duffin, Craigie, Shenron, Exit Tibbs never won a race. Richie, RFC, Daz, Nausea, Pepe, Breeze, Euro, Wolfnator, and Ardic yet to win a race.
Do you know what surprises me out of all of them?
Go on.
A. Smith.
Yeah, Tibbs as well on
Yeah,
F1.
Tibbs as well. Obviously, PN, obviously with that brilliant pole position in F2 at Suzuka, absolutely brilliant. I mean, everyone, it's not like, it was just like pure perfection. While everyone else was being silly and dropping it left, right, and centre, pure perfection from PM Motorsport to put his F2 on pole position.
It really was then. As we are rolling down the straight, Daz here, a little in the centre of the track here then, kind of squeezing DJ Phil. It's green and go. It's a drive-through penalty for DJ Phil for speeding at the start, so he's already ruined his chance of a good result in this one. Dean Wisoki's going to look at the inside of DJ Phil heading into turn 1. Dean's late on the brakes compared to Daz as well, who brakes nice and early. Dean gets it stopped. That is the Wolfenator. We're flying off in the background. Yeah, just saw that. Dean through into second. Welshie fourth. Pepe's off.
All the two Bentleys have been caught up as well. Holty and Argent have all been caught up in the incident, and that has allowed Kelly to come flying through the other with Smithy. Yeah,
I just saw that there was a bit of chaos in the mid-pack. Welshie looking up the inside of DJ Phil. Smithy and Kelly running up the order. Sloffy's round. He has to stay still. If anything, he has. Pepe's just caught the side of him. We see there. Holty has to avoid all of that as well. So a rough start. Dean a little loose on the rear. Coming through onto the back straight. This could give DJ Phil a great chance of a run up towards the next corner.
This is all about how much the top guys can avoid incidences. Shane, Holty, can they avoid the incidents and then work their way up? Bryn now looking to move on Ardic, and he's going down the inside of him, going to the fast right-hander. This is where you want to be, but you can muscle your way around the outside. But I don't think the Porsche has quite got the grunt on the Lamborghini.
Well, she also looking up the inside into the fast right-hander of DJ Phil. Does he get the move done? We see from the camera angle now he does. DJ Phil so very wide. He's trying to get to Manny Core, and Welshie then puts himself up to P3. DJ Phil has 3 laps to do his drive-through. He's now down to 4th. Kelly 5th. What an opening lap for him. Smithy 6th. Bryn up to 7th. Good start as well. Ardic in 8th. Shane's 9th ahead of Holty and Argent, with PN, Pepe, Stelsoff and the Wolfenator look like they got into trouble a bit in the early part of this race. Kelly's now got past DJ Phil as Bryn and Smithy having a little ding-dong in the background.
Yeah, Bryn trying to go right round the outside of Smithy. Smithy trying to hold it strong, but now Bryn will have the inside for the next corner, and he gets the job done. Right now, Shane's got Holty breathing down his neck. Holty's looking down the inside of the final corner.
He is indeed, and he's trying to use Smithy to get through, but that's kind of blocked him, not helped him. Did DJ Phil come in? He is coming in. Oh, nearly gets collected by Kelly's McLaren there as he was coming down. In fact, it might have been Smithy's McLaren as he was trying to defend from Shane. Nearly gets collected in the back. That could have been a disaster. Welshie, though, has got past Dean up front.
Yeah, Dean is very, very loose. He's struggling for grip. Meanwhile, Daz is gone.
Oh, Galty! Wide at turn 2. I think Smithy and him maybe had a coming together, and he's wide at turn 2. This gives Archie Bargy the look he wants. Up the inside of Smithy as well, perhaps. Last season teammates on Project Cars. Archie wipes out the yellow marker. That'll probably be a warning for track limits. And Holty then just now starting to lose a bit of time behind this traffic.
Oh, Holty is just made contact with Smithy. So Smithy being the ultimate teammate here and holding up the 2 Bentleys that were very quick. This is Kelly's opportunity for a great podium, but Smithy's doing all the hard work right now. He is holding them up. He is doing a Sergio Perez right now. He
is indeed. Holty pulls out to the outside line then of the corner on Smithy, and the Bentley just starts to outdrag the McLaren. He now looks like he's just about to get past him. We'll go towards Kelly in just a moment as Holty is going to get past Smithy. Surely Archie Bargy's not going to think of it as well. He's too close to his teammate. I tell you what, he's going to have a look here. Archie Bargy's looking on Smithy. He wants to get this right because his teammate's just in front. Do they as they come through the corner? No, Archie backs out of it. Let's go to Kelly on Dean.
Smithy, he's gone, he's dropped it. Big moment for Smithy. He had a snap of oversteer just on the exit of the right-hander and he's gone off, but Kelly right now is pressurising Dean. He needs to clear these guys as quickly as he possibly can because he's got those 2 Lamborghinis breathing down his neck, and Daz is long gone into the distance. He is in the final corner while these are all still scrapping. He's got the 8-second comfort that Shane had in the race 1.
He has indeed. Kelly looking up the inside. Bryn getting on the back of Kelly. I don't know if Bryn's made some changes in this second race, but he looks rapid. Pulls to that inside. Look like he got a bit of a better run than Kelly. Has he, though? He looks like he has. He's right on the back of the McLaren, the KLF, on the start straight. An hour to go. 55 minutes to go. Bryn looks left, looks right. Is he going to just think of sitting behind? No, he has a look up the inside. And Kelly, one of the toughest defenders to get past. Shane, though, lurking in the background now. Bryn a little wiggle. That'll invite his teammate up the inside. And that is job done for Shane. He's on the charge.
Yeah, Holty now on the back of Arctic. He's looking to try and make a move as quickly as he possibly can on him. Because right now, Shane is on the move and Holty's not moving at all. And he's going down the inside as Ardic's going to hold it strong on the outside, and Holty's going to have to think better of it. He can't quite go around the outside. He will just drift wide, and that'll keep the Porsche just in front. And a tight line into that slow right-hander now will compromise his exit. But Kelly is right in a danger zone now. He's got those Lamborghinis breathing down his neck. He needs to clear Dean and Welshie ASAP.
I was just about to say Welshie, Dean, Kelly, Shane, and then Bryn just in the background as well. Holty will be able to see this train slide up the back straight as he's struggling to get past Arctic at the moment. Shane is starting to make inroads on Kelly. Is he going to look to pull out and have a look on the fast right-hander? Well, this is going on just up front. Dean's having a look on Welshie as well. So there's battles all around. Shane looks like he's sensibly just backed out of it a little bit. Welshie, Dean, Kelly, Shane, Bryn all through and clean at the moment. Shane, though, really charging on the back. Holty has got Arctic.
Bentley's gone wide. Both the Bentleys went wide, both of them trying to clear Arctic, and they've just probably got a little bit of dirt and rubbish on their tyres. Holty's gone wide, Arj's gone, and Arctic's gone even further wide, and that's going to allow Pepe to get a little bit closer. It is all hotting up here.
It is all hotting up indeed. Dean Wisocki.
Shane dropped it!
Oh, Shane's had a moment, and we've just gone back to Welshie, who was a little wide, Dean a little wide, as was Kelly, and Shane is facing the wrong way. Oh, what a shame for the race 1 winner.
Yeah, it was all hot.
Oh, here comes KLF! He's gone right round the inside of Dean Wisocki. He's right up his inside. They make a little bit of contact. Looks like Dean turns in on him, and now Dean is stationary. What is this all about?
As Dean he's gone wide, he's made a mistake, and he's trying to get going again, trying to make sure he's get back on track without getting any contact with anyone. But Dean left door open, and Kelly was like, thank you very much, I will take that position. And now he's on the attack. And Welshie sliding big time. But Dean. Shane, all that hard work, he got caught up with Dean being very slow, losing the rear end. Obviously, that then caused the whole pack to concertina up, and Bryn just had nowhere to go. Caught the back of his teammate, and Shane went round.
Dean then drops to P11 after that little incident. Shane's down in P13. Welshie's very wide, very, very wide. Has he kept it all together? He has as they come through this part of the track. Kelly looking very interested now. He's got Bryn back behind him, and Argent all of a sudden, Dan, becomes the possibility of closing the gap. Daz out front, 13.7 seconds is his gap. He has long gone at the moment. Kelly looks to make the move on Welshie, pulls to the inside line for the corner. The McLaren versus Lamborghini power, and down the back straight they come. Kelly's got to come back across at some point to make this corner. He's holding too tight a line. Well, this is dead heat down this back straight. Now Kelly tucks in front.
Yeah, let's wing on that McLaren, by the way. The thing is, he's able to get that job done. Welshie, Kelly runs wide. He needs to just make it.
He'll get away with that. He'll get away with that because it's the bollards that define the track limits. Argent gaining on Bryn. Holty not gaining anything. Then it's Stowe Slough.
Gone.
He has gone. 14.6 seconds. Arctic down in 8th place. Shane now 9th ahead of Dean Wisocki, who he's got the green Wolfinator behind him. PN Motorsport's 12th with Smithy 13th. Pepe's 14th. What has happened to Pepe and Smithy then? Them two had a moment somewhere as Dean Wisocki now gets overtaken by PN, but he's actually going to hold it on the inside line for the next corner. Dean gets back in front. Yeah, I think that he's possibly had a moment with Smithy somewhere. Phil, 25 seconds off this pack. Dean, oh! I think, actually, that the Wolfinator there, I was expecting the corner for Dean to turn, and there was no corner. And I think there that Dean got caught up by the Wolfinator losing the rear. He's now just tapped PN, and Smithy's now past them all. Carnage at the backfield.
Yeah, Dean's struggling, by the way. I think something's not right on that car. He's really, really struggling as PN is the big... Oh, he's not! PN's gone wide and hit the wall.
Yep, he's gone so deep at the final corner, and now Smithy, the biggest capitaliser out of that lot then. Argent within 2/10 of Bryn. No, he's not! Oh! And was that an unsafe rejoin from Argy Bargy?
He's dropped it! Oh no, he hasn't. Not Holty. Arjun's dropped
Yeah,
it. Arjun's
I
dropped
think
down the Audi.
I think that was an unsafe free. We've just jumped to him, Dan. I think that was an unsafe rejoin on Ardic.
Oh no. As Ardic's hit now, Bryn's gone round. Bryn's gone round. You won't see him because he's stuck in the left-hand side of your screen.
There
but
he is.
Shane is now back up to 6th. So Shane,
Wow.
after having that moment, he is on his way back towards the front, and this is why we have. Well, even a half an hour race would have been able to do it.
Yeah.
Shane is on his way back, and it's only been 10 minutes of this race.
It has indeed, and I tell you what, Holty now sitting in the box seat. Daz to Kelly, 15 seconds. Welsh's 2 seconds behind Holty. 1.5 to Welsh. Stealth Sloth's 4 seconds to Holty. Shane then, he's got some time to make back up.
I think
But what a
everyone
drive.
is possibly carrying a little bit of damage here and there.
Yeah.
And Bryn has got his hands full. He's got Smithy and Green Wolfinator, and Wolfinator goes down the inside of Smithy and gets that job done, I think. Smithy's going to hang it strong on the outside.
Oh,
they
contact! Contact! Mate, Bryn was round as well! I didn't see Bryn get caught up in the contact, but Bryn was round as well. Has he just got to take it easy and let these tyres cool down a little bit? Bryn round again, then Smithy and Green Wolfinator. That'll be damage for them. Dean capitalises on that, as does Peppy. Gets a couple of places done, but it's Daz from Kelly from Welshie. Holty trying to close that gap to Welshie. In fact, he's got past Welshie. Apologies for that one then. So Holty, Welshie, Stealth Sloth, Shane 3.8 off the back. What an opening 10 minutes to this race.
What was the gap between Kelly and Daz?
It was 16 seconds. Yeah, 15, 16 seconds. So Kelly's closing that gap.
I did a Welshie. Sorry, I did a Welshie. Everyone who knows Simplay Motorsport knows exactly what that means.
Dean's just got past Smithy. I saw the timing coming down. Dean's actually just completed that move on Smithy. He's now got to chase the back of Peppy then as either Bryn. I think it's Bryn lost that. No, Bryn's got ahead. Bryn's still ahead of DJ Phil. For some reason that looked the other way around to me. Wolfinator is also still going. But Daz out front, Dan. Hats off to him here because he has just checked out at the moment.
He has indeed, but I wouldn't count your chickens just yet because Kelly is starting to make inroads. He's 14.1 behind him. It was 16 seconds, and also Holty's not too far behind. How much damage are these guys carrying as well? That's the other question.
Yeah.
And has Daz learned from his mistake from earlier on where he sped in the pit lane? That's the other thing.
14.2, so that gap staying a little close at the moment. Go towards PN Motorsport, who's on the back of Smithy. Smithy's within 9/10 of Dean, and PN just looks like he's got more straight line speed in that Ferrari, does he? No, because he tucks back behind Smithy then, and we'll let Smithy keep going at the moment. Dean up to P10 now, he's 2.2 to
Shane's dropped
Pepe.
it.
Oh, again then, where's this then? It's just on the exit of the fast right-hander. He moves out the way, and here comes Argent.
These later conditions seem to be pushing the guys a little bit too hard, and they've already cooked those tyres. Shane's going to be struggling with those tyres now. They will be hoping and praying for the pit window to open soon so they can change the tyres.
They've got 8 minutes.
Probably flat spotted them.
Dean's gone wide and Smithy's going to look up the inside then. They could make contact a little bit. That's Smithy pushing Dean wide a little bit there, and that's put Dean off track and offline. PN doesn't get past though. Dean's got to carry on his way and keep this pressure on Smithy to get back ahead of him. Here comes PN Motorsport to try and as well make up another spot. Dean's looking back on Smithy. Good battle down the bottom end of the field yet
Shane's
again.
dropped it again.
Yeah, his tyres have gone, haven't they, Dan? His tyres are way too hot at the moment. He's got to cool them down.
Yeah, he's got to calm it down. Arjun was struggling to find a way past, and then eventually just pushed too hard. Pepe, after being caught up in so many incidences, he is now up into 8th place position. So again, the longer races, the reverse grid seems to be helping out the guys who make the errors. But again, the fast lot are back to the front very, very quickly. But Welsh and Stealth Sloth still holding it strong for the 2 MC Motorsport Lamborghinis.
Oh, more contact, Dean and Smithy. Dean looked like he was sending one on Smithy. Gets alongside as Smithy turns in. Don't know if that one was 50-50 or what, but PN gets past Dean and looks like he's going to get past Smithy. These cars down the bottom end of the field are going to be in for a long, long pit stop.
50-50?
Yeah, 50-50. Shane's trying to gain on the back of Argent. One thing I have noticed is Kelly's gap now, look, under 14 seconds, but Holty, 1.5 to Kelly. That's gone up a little bit.
It has a little bit. Shane, I think Shane right now is probably getting a little bit frustrated. He can see that Holty's P3, or probably won't be able to see him, but he can see that his closest rival is up the order. And Arjun right now is going to be trying to stop him as best he possibly can, and he's cooked those tyres. He's got to cool them down. He's got to try and nurse them so he can get to the pit window, because they will be flat spotted.
Just seen on my phone that Kimi Räikkönen will participate in another NASCAR Sprint Cup race this year. Can't keep Kimi Räikkönen out of the business, can you? We're not on about Kimi Räikkönen, no, it's about this battle here. Gap Kelly to Holty, still 1.6. It's not anymore. That gap has come down dramatically. Has he lost out any more to Daz, or has he caught Daz any? 14.3. So Kelly's had a bit of a scruffy middle sector somewhere.
Had a moment.
That was Welsh, I think, who had a moment as well in the background as Stoff comes through the final corner. Shane's got to cool these tyres down now. Was a good opening couple of laps for him and bring up the order, but both Lamborghinis just look like they burnt through the tyres. They've got to sort of let the Bentleys come to them, if you will, in terms of pace.
Yeah, definitely. So I think Shane just needs to get that Lamborghini back where he likes it. This is the first time he's properly ran in heavy traffic. He's done a little bit in practice with following the likes of ourselves and a couple other Pro-Am boys, but this is now in racing competitiveness. You know, this is going to change a lot, and especially the dynamic of these cars. Holty is within 3/10 of Kelly and in his toe down the back straight. He's
pushing him down the back straight. He pulls to the outside line now. You look at that inside, though, of Holty's car compared to its outside. It's got a lot of scrapes and bumps and scratches on it. That will, to me, say that he's got a bit of damage on that side of the car. And you just see, is that aero damage just hurting him a little bit against KLF? The Bentley grunt, though, pulls him in front, and Kelly sensibly tucks him behind and will now hopefully follow Holty through to gain on Daz as Daz opens the gap back up a little bit more.
Kelly's car is not in the best of conditions either. You can see the front of the bumper is a little bit scraped as well. So Kelly might be actually carrying some front aero damage as well. But he won't be too unhappy right now. Sitting in third, just behind Holty. If he can stick with Holty, Holty can pull him along and bring that gap down to Daz.
Can indeed. And one man we know who's probably not got damage is Daz. Squeaky clean car comes out the final corner. He's about to start lap 8 of this race, and for Daz Automatic, what a start to his race too. It's only his 4th race at Simplay Motorsport. His first pole position could be in for his first win.
As Smithy's right on the back of Addock right now as they go into the fast right-hander. Addock's gone wide in the Porsche, and that's going to allow Smithy to look down the inside, but he thinks better of it, and we'll have to wait a little bit later on. As I say that, he's going to continue going down the inside, and he gets the job done, and light damage there to each other, but Smithy comes out on top of that one. Bryn now attacking Dean.
Yeah, just about to say, in the background of this fight is Bryn attacking Dean, so Bryn's tyres must have just cooled off a little bit, and they're coming back to him now. Dan, if Daz wins tonight, he'll be the 4th different Welsh winner this season. Me and James on F1, as is Ivor, and then Daz on this. Good fact for you.
When are we going to get another Cornish winner?
When we get another Cornish driver, I suppose. Well, technically, James counts as both, does he not?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, when you or your dad win again.
In that case, does that class that you're English and Welsh?
No. Yep, you're right. James doesn't count for Cornwall. James is just for Wales. Smithy trying to get past Ardick. Again, Ardick's got back, stayed in front. Bryn gaining on the back of Dean. These two, his teammates, remember a couple of seasons ago on Project Cars. Bryn looks like he got a better run out of turn 2. He looks like he's going to dive underneath, but Dean's Bentley just seems to have that bit more grunt. Bryn's not give this one up though. On the brakes they come down into turn 4 or turn 3, not quite sure. And Dean stays in front. Ardick has now been passed by Smithy. Oh, it has been just tapped by Smithy, I think there. They both carry on their way. And yes, Smithy, Ardick, Dean Wasocki, Bryn in the background. And look at Bryn, he's really charging.
The MC Motorsport boys are racing each other, and they both dropped it. Well, she went sideways, Stealth went sideways.
Stealth's in a wall.
Oh no, Stealth was flying. He was right on the back of his teammate.
Dean's to one side of Ardick, Bryn's to the other side. Dean was 2 wheels on the gravel. No. Oh, they span around. Dean's across the front of Ardick, who's tapped Bryn, and they've all come together. Ardick has somehow kept going in this one, but Dean Wasocki and Bryn, huge damage.
More importantly, while Stealth was trying to get back on track, he came across the track, and there was Shane.
Oh,
Shane
look at that damage.
Major damage.
Oh, he can't turn.
That was really poor driving from Stealth. He just drove out on track, Bang! Shane hits him on a blind corner. Shane will be fuming with that one.
And the worst thing is, Dan, as well, is Bryn looks like he's got major damage as well. He's gone straight on and has really started to struggle. Green Wolfinator, who's got bad damage, he's just got past Dean Wasocki. Dean's starting to struggle then with this damage. Shane's got huge damage. Daz Halty, gap down to 12.2. Kelly's third. Just losing out to Halty a little bit. Welsh's fourth. Argy Bargy sat in fifth with Pepe sixth. Shane's had to pit. He's had no choice.
Yeah, this is painful for him. He's not going to pit within the pit window either. So it's bad for him unless...
Hang on. Question. This is something I don't think many people have tested. If he has over a minute pit stop in his box, he's not yet at his box, would that count?
I don't think it will. It's when you enter the pit lane.
Well, let's keep our eyes on it. He's only just stopped at his box, 44 seconds. That damage looks more than 44 seconds worth because it's 30 seconds for a tyre change. So let's see what happens here. Daz, though, from Halty, KLF, Welshie, Argent, Pepe, PM Motorsport, who's past Sloth now, who's got damage. Smithy's currently ninth with Ardic in 10th place. The Wolfinator.
He has to go around again. The rules state that no driver can part... in that case, I would have just done it and just served the penalty. You're going to be at the back anyway. You might as well just get the damage and hope for something, but poor Bryn has to go around again. For all we know, Shane might take the whole lap until he eventually comes back out. Meanwhile, Halty is bringing that gap down very fast.
Yeah, really is. Daz is at pit windows open, so let's keep our eyes on Shane now, because this could be unlucky for Shane if this is the case. Gap to Daz, 11.1, Dan. He is bringing it down some margin here.
He is indeed. Kelly, though, is not a million miles away, so if anything happens to the leaders, he's in a good opportunity here. Welshie currently P4 and hanging in there.
Yeah.
It's a little bit loose, but Argent is now starting to creep onto the back of him, and it depends on what all these guys want to do with the pit stops right now. Some of them possibly carrying a little bit of damage.
I reckon we're going to see a lot of. I reckon we're going to see a lot of drivers in. Pepe, he's carrying on his merry way. I think we're going to see PM Motorsport dive into the pit lane here. PN dives in.
I think Stealth Sloth might pit.
No, he's going to carry on. Stealth carries on his way. What about Smithy then? Expecting this. Halty's got the gap down 2.8 now. Smithy's going to stay out on track. Ardic, he was another one who's had. Right, Shane's away. And you're right, Dan, it didn't change, so it is for when you come into the box.
That is a shame, so he's going to have to stop again, but the problem is he has to go long now.
Wolfinator
because of Bryn.
Cuts the pit entry line. Dean Wasocki cuts the pit entry line, so that was both caught on stream. I reckon we're going to have to note them two. Bryn, where's he? He's coming to the final corner now. He's able, though, to box, and you have to say, Dan, Shane's lost all that time. Get Bryn in now.
Yeah, Bryn has to come in now. Like, he needs to get into the box. If it's that the same similar damage or probably less, then he might be all right. But Bryn, what a horrid lap for him that was.
Yeah, horrid lap. It is. Shane has been lapped by Welshie and Argent then, so he's been lapped by up to P4 at the minute. Welshie's very, very, very wide. Shane should come back through here, and I think he does. So that is places he's gained. The bonus for Shane is if he's got fresh tyres on, he can go a long, long way. Daz stays out. Halty stays out. That gap is now down to 9.2. KLF is going to stay out as well. Argent has got past Welshie into P4 then. So will Argy Bargy think of boxing? Maybe get one of these cars in to repair its damage. Obviously Shane cannot pit. PN's away.
I'm just sitting here watching Daz's car and just watching the characteristics at the minute, and I think he's starting to push a bit hard now. Like, he's losing time hand over fist to Halty. I think the couple corners, the car is sliding a lot more. And I think right now Daz is maybe pushing a little bit too hard than he should be. Just probably needs to just calm it down and let those tyres calm down. I don't know, just my opinion, but at the minute Halty's catching him, and even Kelly is starting to match him again and slowly creep his way back on him.
Stealth Sloth very wide at the final corner, can't pit because Welshie is in there. Here comes Smithy, just noted Welshie down for a pit lane infringement in terms of crossing the white line. Here comes Ardic then, him and DJ Phil and Shane yet to pit. Dean Wasocki's just away. That shows how long his pit stop was. He came in the pits when Ardic and Phil and PN, and that was all coming through the final corner. Dean was not far behind them when he pitted, and he's nearly a lap down to them. Ardic as well, pit lane infringement there.
Well, Bryn's out, so Shane can pit, but he's going to drop down the order anyway. So either way, Shane's going to have to just. This is such a bad round for him now. It was a good start to the night, caught up in silly little instances, and that's it. The night's gone to.
It's damage limitations. It's damage limitations now, and it's how much damage people have got around him for his 30-second pit stop. Argent's been jumped by Welshie by some margin here, Dan. Argent's only just been released, so Welshie's got a good jump over Argent here. Shows how much damage Argent had on his car. Pepe is now just being released. Ardic still not yet to be released either. Will Shane come straight into the pits? I think for Shane, get it done now. Give yourself 35 minutes to really attack.
Or he could exploit the tyre set that he's on now. If he's changed tyres, then he's given himself a longer pit stop than he needed, really, the lap before. But if he is on fresh tyres, you might as well go right to the end of this pit window. He's got clean air. He's got clean air, no doubt about it. There's no one in his way. He can just run as long as he can and as fast as he can.
Oh.
He's got 15 minutes of the pit window.
No, ignore me. Sorry, that must have been PN. I thought that was Daz behind Holty then, but it looks like it's PN Motorsport. Gaps down to 6.9. Daz to Holty as they come through Sector 1. Interesting then. Yeah, Shane's carried on for the long run at the moment. 6 seconds separate Stealth and Smithy. Stealth's in for a long stop, I think. He's starting to go deep at the final corner most times now as Stealth looks like he's going to box as well. Another one who has a pit lane infringement. Clearly, driver's not reading the rules and regulations here, which you love to see. And that's currently 5 names on the list from race 2 yet alone. DJ Phil, then the other man yet to pit. And yes, you just feel for Shane that it's damage limitation in this race. Score as many points as you can. Dean's been overtaken by Bryn, so Bryn's now up to 14th place.
Definitely. So as Smithy carries on through, will Kelly choose to pit this lap? Or is Kelly trying to get to the halfway stage on these tyres, get to the point where he can then go the equal distance and know that his tyres will be fine? I think the thing is, Kelly's been really, one of the things he's been enjoying about this game is he can throw this car more around than he could on Project Cars. He feels more comfortable pushing the car to its limit, and I don't think he's still found the full potential out of that McLaren yet.
Well, she lost it. Just a little wiggle on the exit to the final corner. And who was side by side with him? Daz Automatic.
Daz.
That could have ended in disaster. Holty stays out. He's lapped his teammate as well. Will team orders come into play that if Argent's the quicker car, he'll let him go? Don't want to be held up at all, does Argent. Kelly stays out once more again. Not thinking of that undercut just yet. Smithy's up to P4 yet to pit though, Dan, but up to P4.
I think what Kelly's trying to do is get to that 30-minute mark. Once he's at the 30-minute mark, then he knows his tyres have gone that far and he knows the limit of them. Do you get what I mean? He knows how far and how hard he can push. Obviously, Shane has got a lot of work to do, and obviously with the clear air he has got, he can just pump in the lap times that he wants.
Wolfinator tries to go around the outside of Ardic and gets the job done. Runs a little wide on exit, gets on the marbles. That's hurt his tyres a little bit there. Job done though for him. Shane, 78 seconds behind Stealth Sloth. That might update when they get to Sector 1. I don't think the gap is actually that big, but no one else left in the pit. Shane is trying to extend his gap to the Green Wolfinator and Ardic as much as possible, because we reckon it's about, what, 50 seconds in and out the pits?
Yeah, something like that. So at the minute, Shane is only now matching the leader, who is Daz. Shane's doing 59s at the minute. That was his last lap. Daz last lap at 59 also. But he obviously had a little scary moment with... Holty's lost time, I think. I don't think he's actually gained anything on this lap.
He's definitely lost time because Kelly's caught him as well.
So last lap was a 58.9. I'm going to stay on board and see what he does this lap. But
just watching Holty, Dan. One side... His right-hand side of the car, his right-hand side of the car's got damage. You can see the scratches and the dints on the side. He's also got his teammate hassling him in the background.
Yeah, but even if Argent's in the party saying, I'm not hassling, it's still that vision. You look back to make sure that Argent isn't misbraking. I do this a lot, even with Fury behind me. It's just a natural habit you do. If they miss your brakes, you're going to react. Daz is into the pits, Holty's into the pits.
Yeah, both react.
I think now Kelly will go further. He'll go to the one lap more. He'll try and do the overcut.
He's going. Kelly's going. I think you're right with Kelly. I think he's going to that 1 minute, that 30-minute mark. That then looked like a Lamborghini in the background who had a moment. Might have been Stealth Sloth. He's going now, but
Dean's
Daz
trying to unlap himself on Smithy.
Interesting. Smithy not pitted yet. You are allowed to unlap yourself, don't forget. If you've got more pace, you are allowed to unlap yourself. And Dean gets past Smithy then. Dean can now pull away.
So the squeaky clean Ferrari at the minute in the pit. Will he repair the damage? He's going to have to, really, isn't he? If there was any damage, he needs to clear it so he can at least catch Daz towards the end of this race. Has Daz managed to not speed in the pit lane? That's the other question.
I think as well, with Holty's damage here, Kelly could be in the box seat here then. Just looking at where they are sector time-wise. Smithy yet to pit as well, so Kelly and Smithy really ought to start thinking about getting one of their drivers in for the Audio Sport team. Daz is now away. Holty is still stationary. It was 8 seconds coming into the pits. What will it be now?
Kelly has been matching the leaders. His best has been a 58.7. Well, at the minute, he's done a 59.4 as his last lap. So if he needs to pump in a good lap time, it's now.
Daz has just hit one of the pit markers coming out of the pits, and the Wolfinator was slow. Have they had a bit of a ding-dong here?
Possibly so. Welshie now is not close enough to Holty. I thought Welshie would have been close, but Holty has gone. Oh no, there's a Lamborghini in the middle of the road.
Where?
It's Bryn. Down the main straight. It's Bryn.
Interesting. Well, I wonder what has happened there then. Bryn stays well out the way of... I don't know who that was coming through.
Damage.
Yeah, he has big damage. Again, Dean and Ardick then go through. Them two have carried on the way. Smithy's in the pits.
Damage,
I think you're right here, Dan.
Yeah.
Look at that slide. Yeah.
He's hit something. I think he's come out the pits while the Green Wolfinator and possibly Bryn were having a scrap. Smithy's in. I think that's what's happened here. I think that Daz came out the pits, Green Wolfinator and Bryn were having a scrap, and Green Wolfinator or Bryn have hit him.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Hang on, I know how to do this. I've got a replay.
Go to the replay. Exactly. Smithy still in the pits. This is a long old pit stop. Shane still to pit. DJ Phil still to pit. But but Daz Automatic definitely has damage. There's Holty. Where's he? Coming through the long right-hander now. And yeah, he's starting to struggle also.
There's me looking at the replays, and I was looking at the wrong driver.
Smithy is now away, so where is Stelzloff? He's got through. Shane has got past. Wolfinator hasn't yet. Dean's gaining on Ardick, and he's only 2 seconds behind Wolfinator, so Dean here has a chance of maybe, just maybe, getting himself back into a couple more point scoring positions. Bryn may have to pit again, but Bryn's also, Dan, got to realise Shane needs to pit.
Yeah, he does. What number is
Wolfinator? 186.
No, Daz.
Daz, 35. Daz is back in the pits, Dan. He's back in.
Yep, so he's into the pits on my screen. He's pitted, and I'm just going to see the onboard. He comes out, and Green Wolfinator just plows straight into the back of him. It's a slam dunk. He pulls straight into the back. The Bryn's nowhere to be seen.
Oh, so Bryn's had his own moment then.
Yeah, I think Bryn has had his own moment. This is actually very handy. But yeah, Wolfinator. Oh, Bryn has coming together with Ardick.
Ah, there we go then. Ardick, speaking of him, first man to get a track limit penalty as he's side by side with Dean Wysocki. He's got himself a drive-through penalty. Dean will be inside of Ardick. Thank you, Mama, for the carrot, says Dean Wysocki. He's back up another place.
Yeah, Ardick, I'm just reviewing this. Green Wolfinator made no effort to avoid the Ferrari coming out of the pits and just plows straight into the back of Daz Automatics.
Kelly.
That race has just been ruined by Green Wolfinator.
Kelly is in the pits. Holty is coming up to the traffic of Ardick and Dean Wysocki. Shane now boxes as well. 7.5 minutes left of this pit window. Shane boxes. Oh, Holty's very wide. Very, very wide at the quick right-hander. He's got the traffic of Ardick and Dean Wysocki in front. I imagine Dean should be able to catch the Wolfinator, and I imagine Wolfinator's got damage. Daz is still in the pits, and he's down to 8th place. There comes Shane to get past him, and Shane will now be re-overtaken as Daz goes on his way. Kelly's still in the pits. Holty being held by Ardick. He's tapped the back of Ardick as Holty. Holty still wide once again, and I tell you what, he's not yet at the final corner. He's not yet at the penultimate penultimate corner. When does Kelly's tyres change? Oh! Holty's made contact! He's made contact with the back of Ardick! He's driven into the back of him! Kelly's away! He sits in the lead of this race! Sorry, he's provisional first, as DJ Phil, I believe, is in the lead of this race.
Kelly's not gone into the distance.
Wow, and what was he saying last week about these hour-long races? See you on the podium. Welshie on the back of Argent. I feel Argent's got past him, but Kelly at the moment has a great lead.
Holty just coming towards the back straight, and Shane comes out of the pits. And that was it. Shane nearly hitting Holty there. Holty left it last minute, but Kelly leads the second race here.
I think Ardick's just pitted.
Dad, don't drop it now.
I think Ardick's pitted to repair damage, realising that he's got to drive through to serve. Yeah, got it for the track limits. DJ Phil's in to complete his stop. Dean Wasocki's trying to catch the Wolfinator. Daz is side by side with Smithy as they come up towards the quick right-hander. Daz is on the outside of Smithy. This will be a brave move round the outside. Does he get it done? You bet your bottom dollar he does. Daz, maybe a track limit warning there. Back up ahead of Smithy. Then he's got to work his way through the field. Argent back on the podium once again.
Oh no! Phil's coming to the pits and not served his
Oh no, he's got to go around again.
He was doing so well. He was in good points there as well.
He was in great points and he's not changed his tyres. He's got to go again.
Oh, such a shame there for DJ Phil. He's got to pit again.
And the worst thing is, he's still slosh behind him. He'd have come out P7 on his pace. What a shame. What a shame. Speaking of Shane, he's 7.6 behind Dean Wasocki. Can he get that down a little bit more? Daz has pulled away from Smithy. It's a Bentley 2-3 again here. And good points for Holty and Argent, you have to say. But Argent's 24 seconds behind his teammate. His teammate's possibly got front end damage. And his teammate is losing time to KLF at the moment. Kelly in the box seat, 25 minutes to go, Dan.
Yeah, he's looking very good. I'm stuck on a camera now. I can't change it, so I'm currently in my settings trying to change it right now.
There we go.
Okay, should be able to do it now. There we go.
Welshie sat P4. What a result this could be for Welshie. P4. What a night.
Yeah, Welshie's doing very well at the minute. A very consistent race from him, keeping it clean, keeping his nose out of trouble. When all the top guys who had the pace here knew what they were doing and knew what they could get here, and it's gone completely tits up.
PN 2.4 off the back of Pepe, so PN having a good, PN's having a good season if you ask me. DJ Phil, bless DJ Phil, 5 seconds he's got to stealth as well. He's 27 seconds clear. He's about 32 seconds clear of Daz Automatic. What a shame. He's got to pit this lap. He could possibly go one more, but he has to pit. He's got to change them tyres. In comes DJ Phil. And that is race ruined, because here comes Stealth Sloth. That'll be job done. Daz will get through. You imagine Smithy will get through. Wolfinator and Dean. That'll be touch and go, you know, between Wolfinator and Dean here, because Dean right on the back of the Wolfinator. Oh, he's looking up the inside at the quick right-hander. Here is Dean. Wolfinator a little wide. Dean didn't go for it. He might now. Wolfinator's gone wide. Looks up the inside into the right-hander. Dean Wasocki. That is a good move. Wolfinator wide. Dean a little wide. Holty through.
Yeah, I don't think Holty's quite confident at the minute. He seems to be struggling at the minute. He's not happy in that car now. Now it's been overheated and just pushed a little bit too hard. He's struggling to get it back into its comfort zone, I think.
Yeah, have to agree with you. Shane, 4.9 off the back of Dean Wasocki at the last sector time. He'll be a bit closer than that, and it'll be to the green Wolfinator, because there he is. Wolfinator, look at that front end damage. There's no wonder he's being caught by drivers. Obviously, he was the one who gave Daz that big whack up the rear there. Daz has gone through on Phil. Smithy's gone past Phil. Dean Wasocki to Phil. Phil's not yet changed his tyres, Dan. He's not yet green and go. Here comes Dean. He's still not green and go here. Here comes Dean Wasocki. Here comes Wolfinator. Here comes Shane. Phil's off the limiter now. Phil's off the pit box now. And Phil down to P13. Shane up to P11. Bryn nearly got the back of DJ Phil there as well.
Yeah, Phil, it looked like a great moment for him there, where he was about to work his way up the pack and gain some decent points for everyone else's mistakes. But not to happen this time. Kelly, though, with a comfortable gap, he's just got to hang on for 20 minutes now while Holty, I think he's got the pace to catch him, but he's just going to be pushing too hard.
Slowly. It's slowly at the moment, isn't it, with for Holty? It's very, very slow. You look at the track map, the red dot signifies who we're on. Kelly has his teammate, the next car in front of him, but half a straight down the road. Holty, he's got a clear track as well. But you have to say that front aero damage is just going to be hurting him. Argent not really making the inroads on his teammate either.
Well, to put it into perspective, Holty's last lap was a 58 something, I can't remember what, but the thing is, Kelly's just matched him last lap, and it's Kelly's fastest lap as well, 58.4, that's his best at the minute, so he is just matching Holty at the minute, and he's even 0.6 he's 0.6 down on this lap, but he's near enough exactly where he needs to be. Holty is not making the inroads that he needs to. It's just bits and bobs here and there. It's not enough. And
Sutty rooting for Kelly and the chat. Obviously famous teammates for a couple of seasons back in Pro a few seasons ago on Project Cars 2. One man who's making some inroads down is Pepe, gaining on the back of Welshie here. Now, just looking down the order, has Shane made a mistake somewhere because he's lost out to the Wolfinator and to DJ Phil?
That's not going to be good for him. He's not going to be happy with that one.
Like now, I know Shane's had a few incidents in this race, but he's also had his own issues in this race. Is this later time hurting him a little more?
Possibly so, or he's just overdriving the car, possibly just so frustrated with how the end of the night has gone. He's probably just overdriving now, pushing the car to the limit when it can't handle it. Pepe is really starting to creep onto the back of Welshie now.
On board Pepe at the moment.
Welshie always looks like he's out of control.
Yeah, he does.
That corner. PN's not a million miles away behind him either.
No, 3.5 seconds. Good result for PN if he can get on the back of this battle just off the podium. Holty's got that gap to 9.5 seconds now, Dan, so I wonder if Kelly's just had a little moment on the last lap somewhere because he's just lost a bit of time. But either way, still 9.5 seconds with 19 minutes to go. It's one thing catching, it's another thing to pass, as the late great Murray Walker would say. And we know that Kelly can be one of the hardest men to pass. Welshie all out of control coming through turn 2, bouncing off the curb, and Pepe, well, he doesn't need a second invitation. Through he goes. P4 for Pepe at the moment. PN sitting in the background and just watching this. Phil and Shane gaining on the Wolfinator here.
They are indeed. I'm still having issues with my camera, so I'm still working on that at the minute. So.
Oh, here comes Phil. Lovely little cutback. The Wolfinator is so slow down the straight. Here comes DJ. Bryn's not a million miles away neither. Phil has passed him before the braking zone. There's daylight between them. The Wolfinator has some massive... Oh, Shane! Just as the camera changes, he is sideways through the corner. Oh, my days. Not again for Shane.
When it rains, it pours sometime, and at the minute it is snowing for
it's a blizzard
right now. It's just going from bad to worse. The only person who's behind him now is Arctic, and he's obviously had time penalties and all sorts to his name, drive-throughs and everything.
Can we just say, one drive-through penalty for track limits tonight. Well done, the Pro-Am boys.
Oh God, you said it now.
No. It's not been clean. But well done these for not getting the drive-through penalties. Yeah.
It's not been clean with them racing wheel to wheel. You've just said that they've managed to get away with only one drive-through with track limits.
We've done enough testing to know where the limits are, Daniel. There's 2 drivers. There's 4 drivers I'm thinking who will get track limits tomorrow night.
Your teammate?
Overtaker, Fury. Monkey Boy's a dead set because he always gets drive-through when track limits are harsh. Monkey Boy's a dead set. Overtaker, Fury, and I think Sutty Apex is one to maybe put in that hat as well.
You think so?
That's my... I think they're bound to get... At some point, one of the races, they'll get a drive-through, I reckon. You're welcome, Monkey Boy. You always get drive-throughs on dodgy tracks, so you, for me, are a dead cert to get a drive-through tomorrow night.
I think that the problem that also Monkey Boy's going to have is he's going to want to turn left for the chicane, thinking that it's F1, not...
Yeah, just remember, Monkey Boy, this is ACC. We do the back straight as a full straight, not the chicane like last time, yes? Good lad. Oh, that was brilliant. Bryn's now on the back of the green Wolfinator, 9/10 of a second, and look at the difference in the straight line speed. Bryn comes, goes, and he may as well have himself a cup of tea, because in fact, do you know what? Bryn's actually got damage, I forgot, on the front tire. He had the moment, didn't he? But he still put daylight between himself and the Wolfinator. Easy as you like. Gap out front with 17 minutes to go. 8.5 seconds. Holty is coming. But, Dan, I draw your attention to the car in front of KLF. The number 2 of the Audio Sport McLaren. Back markers do not have to get out the way. It is for the lead car to unlap themselves. Do we think... And Smithy, I have to say, I've teamed with Smithy. What a teammate Smithy is. He's the ultimate teammate. I think Smithy could play this team game here for Kelly. Really help him out.
Tactics, that turning left. What are you trying to say, monkey boy? I don't want to be near him going near that chicane now.
Just make sure you're on the right-hand side of him. If you're behind him, you're just going to get brake checked. Yeah. So many configurations to this circuit. Right, Smithy now has Kelly right up the back of him. 8.1 back to Holty. PN's gaining on Welshie.
Either way, even if Kelly loses out to Holty here, that's still a podium. And for a man, he said to himself, this is just a learning curve for this season. He has lost a lot of time just in Sector 1. What was it, 8 seconds between him and Holty? It's now 6.5. So Smithy is holding up Kelly ever so slightly.
Yeah, well, PN on the timing screen has just got past Welshie, I've just noticed here. So Welshie down to 6th, PN up to 5th. Kelly's ahead of Smithy, 6.5 seconds. We'll see that change in a couple of moments' time. What's the gap now? As Kelly's through, 6.8. So you can tell that back straight. Holty's losing a few tenths because of that front end aero damage that he's got on his car. But now he's got the roadblock. No, because he hit Ardic after the pit stops. So he's got. He came back out with damage. Yes, he came back. He came back out and got damage lapping Ardic, and he's now got the roadblock of Smithy, and Smithy knows how to play the team game. Let me tell you.
Oh, for sure. But right now, Kelly, like I said, Kelly will walk away from this race relatively happy. And again, it was the patience rewards you in this track, and Kelly has been very, very patient here this evening. He's got a 4th place. Can he just hang in there and hold on to his first podium on the ACC game? Because we've not spoken to Kelly yet on the podium.
We haven't. No, Green Wolfinator in the pit, so Ardic and Shane gain an extra position, I do believe, and he's just made it worse. He's got himself a stop-go penalty. Has the Green Wolfinator. He comes out just in front of Holty. So Holty gains time over Kelly again last lap, gains a second, but now has 2 back markers in front of him, whereas Kelly has a clear track for quite a bit until he gets to...
Smithy and Green Wolfinator are too busy racing each other.
Yeah,
Green Wolfinator lets him through, and Smithy lets him through as well, so there was no problem for Holty then. So easy doing so. It was more hard work for Kelly than for Holty.
The next car Kelly's going to catch is Shane. Now, if Shane can get back up to his pace of race 1, Kelly possibly won't catch him and won't see another back marker in this race. But let's keep our eyes out. Battle down for 7th and 8th. Daz Automatic gaining on the back of Stealth Sloth. He's got Ardic a lap down behind him. As DJ Phil's within 3 seconds of Dean Wasaki now then.
Daz is close to the back of Stealth Sloth at the minute. He's working his way through him, and he's into the final sector now. So Daz on a recovery drive after being walloped in the back by Green Wolfinator. He's worked his way back up there, but just it's what could have been if it wasn't for the contact. He was in control.
Couple of drivers tonight. DJ Phil. Oh, Stealth! Bit of a wiggle on the curb. Daz doesn't need a second invitation. That's job done. What a night for DJ Phil it could have been. What a night for Daz. But what a night it could be for Kelly. 5.9 the gap.
More importantly, what would a championship look like if Shane didn't have his problems tonight?
Yeah, well, just
really starting to get a firm grip of this championship. Not obviously as he come to this round finishing second, even if he finishes behind second again from Kelly. This is a track that was meant to favour the Lamborghini. So Bryn and Shane have Shane delivered in race 1, but it just did not happen in race 2 whatsoever.
Shane's going to lose 18 points to Holty. Sorry, no, he's not. He's going to lose 14 points to Holty, 15 points to Holty.
So how many did Holty lose in race 1?
2.
2 points.
So that's Holty's come away from the week. Shane got pole, so there's an extra point. Holty's going to have come away with an extra 11 points. Argent's going to come away with an extra, I don't know, 10, let's say. Possibly be 10 in front of Shane by the end of this one. Maybe a few more. Yeah, it's not been the night for Shane. Holty to KLF, down to 4.7.
It's slowly coming in, but I think Holty just... he won't run out of time. I think he'll just catch Kelly, but the problem is, you've got to pass him.
Yeah.
He's got to pass him, and trying to pass Kelly is very difficult. Kelly will fight to the bitter end for a race win, and I think he said to me a couple of times that he feels so confident around here, so comfortable on this circuit. I think it's going to be a hard job for Holty to actually pass him.
Yeah, I agree. Battle down the bottom end of the grid. Dean Wasocki just losing some time to DJ Phil here. DJ Phil just within a second now of Dean, or just over, should I say. The Wolfinator's off. He stays well out the way. Bryn only 4 seconds back from these two as well. And Argy Barge is in the middle of this pack, so he's trying to lap drivers while Phil's trying to attack Dean. Dean and Phil seem to be having their battle this season. Every week they seem to be fighting each other. Gap's gone back up to 5 seconds, Holty and Kelly now.
Yeah, it's that middle sector. Kelly seems to be carrying less wing. I know he's running 2
Phil!
on that rear wing.
Oh, gee whiz. Dean had a bit of a slide coming through the quick right-hander. Phil, fully sideways, well held to Phil. Argent nearly T-bones him, has to avoid. And Phil now has really burnt up his tyres. He's very wide through these couple of corners, and Bryn is sitting on the back of DJ Phil.
Shane's just cleared Ardic, so Ardic's been done. Shane is up another place, so he's not going to lose. Or has he? Yeah, sorry. He has cleared him now, so he'll gain some points there. Phil, Bryn's now passing Phil.
Where
so
was
Bryn's
Shane on
the inside of
circuit, Dan?
Turn 1.
Turn 1. The next car is DJ Phil to pass. Yeah, that's not going to happen in 10 minutes. He's a bit far behind there, but Bryn gets DJ Phil done. Bryn works his way up. Next man for him, Dean Wasocki. Gap back out front, 4.2. Holty can now see Kelly.
Yeah, but the problem is also that Bentley will start to come into the dirty air of the McLaren.
3.7.
This is where Kelly then starts to extend the
Yes.
gap. That 2 rear wing is really helping him out on the straights. But this is what I mean. If Holty set the car up to be more for downforce in the corners, he's gaining it in Sector 1 and Sector 2 where there's corners. Sector 2 is just a straight. It's a really long straight. It's the short right
I even
hand.
think with the damage he's got, Dan, it's helping him through the corners.
Yeah, definitely so. Crossing the line now, 4.1. So that straight line advantage that Kelly has extended the gap.
Half a second. It's half a second Holty's lost there to Kelly. The question is, how much does Holty and Kelly gain through the last part of the circuit? Kelly's got Ardic to clear. That's who Holty made contact with earlier. Kelly flashing the lights to Ardic. And don't forget, backmarkers don't have to move out of the way, but Kelly will want to clear Ardic before Holty gets any closer. Holty will then have to clear Ardic. And Kelly
just gets out of the way.
Yeah, Kelly gets past Ardic. No problems there then. Bryn now within 3/10 of Dean Wasocki as the camera pans round. There he is. There's Dean just starting to struggle maybe. Bryn now better run through the right-hander. He looks underneath into the next right-hander, and the former teammates back in the BMW days. Bryn will take that 10th place away from Dean Wasocki then. Great move there. Dean a little wide. That's not allowed Phil to come through, but Dean Wasocki down to 11th. Bryn up to 10th. Just shows that what Bryn and Shane could have done without these incidents in this race.
Holty's catch Ardic, and Ardic's just struggling a little bit, and he's nearly made contact with Holty there. Holty managing to clear him as quickly as he can, because he just knows that Kelly is there. He's vulnerable, he's able to get him, but he will start getting that dirty air effect now, so the car will not be happy right now.
Holty gains 7/10 in that final sector to Kelly's half a second on the back straight. He gains another 6/10 in the first sector, but will then lose pretty much that 6/10 down this back straight here. And I tell you what, Holty's heart must have been in his mouth there. 8 minutes left. He knows he's got a real chance to pull points on Shane. Wolfinator's in for his stop-go penalty, I do believe. And this fight here is really heating up between Shane and KLF. Kelly, I'm sure, will take a 3rd place at the end of this race. There's Wolfinator in the chat. I can't go out the box, he's saying. Are you struggling to get out the box, or... You're more than welcome to rejoin the race. Obviously, you've got to serve your stop-go penalty. You have to finish the race. That's the rules. You have to finish the race. Otherwise, it is a retirement, no points, and a qualifying ban for next week if you retire the car. So you have to get to the end of the race. You have to cross that line and finish it.
Where are we next week?
We know nowhere next week. We are having a week's break.
Well, you just said that's
Yeah.
next week.
Apologies. We're not nowhere next week. Ignore that. F1 continues as normal. I should be back in time. It will be an early call. It will be about a midday call if things aren't looking good for that one. That could get pushed back a week. You've got to finish the race, Wolfinator. You have to come out and finish the race. So yeah, we'll see that one. Holty 2.1. But we are at the Nürburgring, not next week, but the week after. So
Kelly's now is getting closer and closer. The time's coming down. He's going to want this race to end as quickly as he possibly can.
.1, Dan. What does Kelly gain? Half a second, 6/10 on that back straight? Oh,
yeah.
And there's traffic.
Dean and Phil are having another scrap again.
Dean and Phil having a good scrap this season. Every week these two seem to be battling each other.
Yeah, definitely so. And yeah, Dean right now he's coming under pressure from DJ Phil as Kelly has cleared the car of Stealth Sloth. So that's one less car to worry about. Now it's Holty's turn.
Wolfinator coming out the pits to get back into this race then.
Holty's going to catch Stealth Sloth at the worst point.
Oh, you don't want to be Holty right now, do you? You don't want to be Holty right now. Let's watch. And Stealth's gone wide, and Holty's got through cleanly.
That's actually probably helped Holty. He's got the toe off the back of that Lamborghini.
Yes. Probably not going to lose as much through this sector. 1.6 the gap now, though. Oh, I tell you what, this is going to go down to the wire. This is.
It's going to be tight. Kelly has just got to keep it on track and put his car in the right places. He knows he's got the straight line advantage down the back straight. That's the only thing he knows. But he's just got to put his car in the right place, and then Holty's just going to have to work his way around. But at the minute, Kelly is going to fight for this win as much as he possibly can.
Keep your eyes on that, Dan, as DJ Phil and Dean Wasocki are side by side coming down the back straight. Phil's on the outside. Dean just doesn't have anything to DJ Phil. Has to tuck back in the background, and Phil gets past. Dean down to 12th. Phil up to 11th place. And DJ Phil, he's had some pace. Another man who's had a bit of misfortune by not completing his pit stop correctly.
I think we've got 3 laps left. In this. And Kelly is... Holty's now in that dirty air. He's now starting to pick the dirty air of the McLaren. He's lapping a car that's similar on his pace. I say similar. Holty probably lapping half a second faster, maybe a second a lap faster. But that McLaren will start to bring out some disturbance to the back of that car, and Holty will not be like it. He goes a little bit deep in that tight right-hander.
Looked a little wiggly on exit as well, Dan.
Yes, he's probably pushing it. He was within 7/10 of Kelly, but Kelly's just going to open up the McLaren now, and down the back straight he goes.
The one bonus,
that half a second back.
The one bonus Holty has here, Dan, though, is he will be also starting to get that slipstream, so he's not possibly going to lose as much down this back straight now that he will start to feel the effect of a slipstream.
Yeah, but you can see how much it disturbed the back. It disturbed his car. He did not like wanting to sit behind the back of that McLaren.
Daz Automatic within a second now of Welshie as well. In fact, he's going to look. I thought he was going to have a look up the inside of Welshie. Dan, you keep your eyes on Kelly Holty as we watch Daz and Welshie at the moment. Daz right on the rear end. You see Holty's lost half a second down that back straight. 1.2 the gap now with 3:25 to go. I think Dan's calculations are correct. I think we've got 2 laps after the one. Kelly's on. Good run out the final corner. No for Daz. And Welshie manages to get back in front, but I think Daz's setup might help him. A little less on the rear wing maybe if he does. Don't think so, because that Lamborghini is able to stay in front. Dad's going to look to send it into turn 1. No, he tucks back in.
He's starting to push the track limits, Holty. He's really pushing it. He's really onto the back of Kelly now. It's probably going to be less of a second. He takes more curve going in there, and Kelly trying to get the better exit. And it's 1.2 when they hit the sector last time. Towards the line they come now. It's going to be less than a second. Kelly, he's got 2 laps to go. He's got to hang in there.
He has Daz all over the back of Welshie as well. At this moment in time, he's looking really racy compared to Welshie at the minute. In fact, he's tucked underneath as they come towards the back straight. Welshie will have the inside line for the next bit. I think Daz has already got the move done. No, Welshie's still there. Great driving from these two. Welshie just bounces over the curve a little bit. Done move for Daz Automatic there. He's up to P6. We go back to the leaders then through sector 1. That gap is 7/10, so we only gained 2/10 in the first sector, Dan.
Yeah, there's not a lot he's gained there. And again, this is what I'm saying. He's in the turbulent air of the McLaren. So when he gets to those sectors, he's probably going to be understeering a little bit. He is a lot closer this time, but he's not quite getting the full effect of that slipstream because he's just struggling in the first sector to stick with him.
Ardic.
Flag.
Oh, car 35, that's Daz. He's just got past Welsh. He's now got a drive-through. And again, like Shane, Dan, when it rains, it pours.
It does indeed. They class the sectors. Kelly's made that gap.
Ardic stopped here.
Again.
Sorry, Dan, just noticed Ardic stopped in this final sector. He's on track as well. Ardic needs to get going. I think he's offline. Is he out of fuel?
I will find out for you.
Thank you very much. Kelly, though, 1.1. So again, half a second he gained over Holty on the back straight. He's coming round to start the final lap. Where is Ardic then? They've passed him. So, no, they're coming to pass him now. Where is Ardic?
I think he's out of fuel. Green
Right.
Wolfinator.
Yeah, Wolfinator's in this race now for another position.
Well, he's just circulating. He's coming up to the back of the Ardic car, so I don't know what is going on here, but they're just...
Oh, Holty's had a great final sector. He's on the bumper. He's kissing the back of Kelly's car. Holty then is coming down. He's really got close to the back of Kelly. Kelly's already gone to defend that inside line. Leader on the final lap. What we've waited for this whole hour. And Kelly, you can just see that McLaren pull down the straight. He's going to just back it into turn one and take this lead. Come on, Kelly, says Sutty in the chat. Come on, PN, says Sutty in the chat. Daz losing positions hand over fist. There's also a yellow flag. That is the Wolfinator who stopped as car 35 drive-through cleared, but this is the battle we want to see.
Yeah, Kelly's just got to make sure he doesn't compromise his own corners. He knows Holty's there. Holty's going to look. He's going to think about it. But there, Kelly's tried to defend. He's run wide. Yeah, Holty made him do that. Kelly did not need to defend. He wasn't close enough. Holty's barged him.
They touch there. Kelly now tucks him behind Holty. Can Kelly, surely with a better straight line speed of the McLaren over that damaged Bentley, get this one done? Holty forced the error, and force it he did. Here comes KLF on the back of Holty. It's been 60 minutes of fantastic racing, and Kelly is getting closer, is he? I don't think so. I don't think Kelly's gaining the time he needs to. Into the quick right hand here. Kelly now has to force the error. 2 tenths the gap. Kelly's ever so close. Carry the speed.
No, that's it. Holty's done it. Holty's just got to keep it together now. Kelly did not need to defend that corner. He did not need to defend it at all. Holty was not far enough alongside him, and he just made him tweak and make a mistake, and this is what it's resulted to. Kelly ran wide, and that gave Holty the opportunity to go down the inside, a little bit of a barge. But either way, Kelly will still be happy the fact that he's got himself on the podium, but it's not done yet. 2 corners to go.
2 corners to go. Holty into the penultimate corner now. Does Kelly think of maybe a little send it up the inside into the final corner? He's too far back, surely. Holty, though, breaks. Well, he had a mini spell of 2 races without a race win, but Holty on the final lap is going to take it from Kelly at the very end. Holty wins round 6 with Kelly second place. I'm sure Kelly would have really wanted that win, but I'm sure he will still take that P2 nonetheless. It's a great result for him. Just looking at Dean Wisoki's stream here, he's got a front left puncher.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So we'll jump to Dean in a moment. He's only coming through the first sector.
Too high, 'cause that's probably the only way that...
I don't really know. I can't really see it at the moment because of his colour number. Either way, just looking on his stream, he's got a front left puncher. That is black. The black tyre means puncher. Argent exits the final corner. It's a back-to-back third places tonight. Argent's lowest result this season is 4th place. Very, very consistent season here. Good result for him. Pepe will come across for P5. Daz, though, disappointing end to his night, really. What could have been for him, it's only going to be 7th place for Daz. It's going to be 8th place for Stove Sloth. It's going to be 9th for Smithy. Good points for them too, for the Audio Sport team. Bryn's going to take 10. Good recovery drive from Bryn. Shane's pitted as Shane ran out of fuel here as Pepe then. He's going to come to the line and he's going to take himself a lovely little 4th place. PN Motorsport as well is going to finish P5. Lovely result for PN. I think Shane's run out of fuel again here. Running his fuel fine. I think he's ran out of fuel. PN finishes P5. We just await Welshie to finish. Let's just go on board Dean Wisoki, who's just in front of Welshie. Front left puncher. You just see that he's just... Look at it. Look at the tyre just lock up. It's not rotating at all. And Dean's going to come over for 12, back-to-back 12 places. Points for Dean in the bag. He's gone very wide. Look, he just can't turn. His puncher just means he cannot turn. We wait for Welchie now then. So that means Shane will be 13th with lack of fuel in the car. And I do believe the Wolfenator might get... Has the Wolfenator crossed the line? Yeah, he's already crossed the line. So Wolfenator 15th. He's parked at the bottom of this straight.
Yeah, but it's not checkered for him. Him and
No, it's
Ardic
not
have
checkered.
not finished the race.
Well, we think Ardic's out of fuel, don't we? Because that's not moved.
They need to return to the pits if they're done.
Yeah, Wolfenator's parked up. So Ardic will be given 14th place. Wolfenator 15th place. And, yeah, what a drive. Gutted, but good P2 for Kelly. Well done, PN. Well done, Halty lad. London mini buses for Kieran Argent. You can't really call two P3s a mini London bus, Sutty. Come on. Either way, we hope we get Kieran. We hope we get Kelly and Halty in the chat. We're just going to load this timetable so we can get the race results for the sim grid. That is job done. Them two DNF'd on lap 25 and lap 24. And before we then get chatting to our podium runners, let us talk you through the championship standings. Though before that, while we do them, join Liam Bostock tomorrow night, 8 PM GMT, for the pros. Dan on Orthodubs and Fury look like it's their turn to have a real good couple of results. Who's going to have the bad week this week? Join Liam Bostock live, 8 PM GMT for that one. And join our good colleague in the commentary box, Dan Davis, live Sunday night for the Austrian Grand Prix, the Red Bull Ring, the home circuit of the two Red Bulls. Can they do anything championship wise though? Shane is 23 points behind Halty, but Halty has a 10-point lead over his teammate as well. Kelly, 4th place, he's 36 points behind, with Pepe 45. PM Motorsport is P6, he's 52 behind, he's 4 ahead of the Wolfenator. Bryn up to 8th place on 75 points. Welchie's on 65, tied with Daz Automatic for P9 in that one then. Smithy is P11 on 62. Stove Sloth up to 12th. Dean down to 13th. And DJ Phil 14th place. Ardic goes ahead of Leon Fernie. Constructors Championship wise, AH Motorsport 78 points clear of the Tickle Pink cars. Audio Sport on 165 points with the East West Motorsport P4, MC Motorsport P5. The Racing Group now go above the Austrian Racing Club in the Independence title, with That's a Good One Racing, the only team being outscored by the Independents. The Lone Ranger Racing on 54 and Solo Racer on 25. While we await Kelly, Dan, just make sure Kelly's in this party. Let's speak with Argent. Kieran, solid night, but obviously not the results you would have wanted.
No, I'm going to try and keep it PG as much as I can. I'm not the happiest with that one, to be honest with you. Incident with one of the pink cars halfway through, got alongside and he just feel like he fired for me. And then that's race over. Minute and a half pit stop.
Yeah, looked like a lot of drivers out there had some big damage. Minute and a half pit stop for yourself. Good comeback, though.
Yeah, I'll take the P3, but as I say, I think people need to learn when cars are next to them.
Obviously, week break next week due to unfortunate circumstances. Nürburgring gives you 2 weeks to test for that one. You was obviously not going to be here next week, so it's a bonus that you actually now can race.
Yeah, I'm not here next week. I'm away on holiday for a week, so obviously I'm not going to be able to take PlayStation with me, I'm afraid. But yeah, just get back and then hopefully get practice in for the following week.
Yeah, you're actually all right for next week because there's no race.
Oh no, okay, even better. I didn't realise. Sorry.
Yeah, I've just said 2 weeks to practice for the next one. What can we do at the Nürburgring?
Not done many on this game, to be honest. It's a track we all know. It's not about what I can do pace-wise. It's about keeping clean, and that's what we've found the last 2 weeks.
Well done tonight, Argent. Congratulations. We'll let you get to it.
Yeah.
And one man we really have to take our hats off to tonight, because he's had good pace, best of the rest kind of pace, but he didn't expect this tonight. Kelly, what a result.
Yeah, absolutely. Wasn't expecting that. Race one was almost a faultless race for me. I had no incidents, no accidents, no spins, good lap times, consistent lap times, and I just couldn't catch the top three. There was they were gone. So yeah. I was expecting some of the same for this race, to be honest, but luckily I think the guys behind me and whatever had some incidents of their own, and happy days. But the car's still steaming because I wring its neck. That was everything it had. Well, that's everything it had in my hands anyway.
Talk us through that last lap, because That was some of the best sort of racing we've seen. We saw Holty closing that gap down. Would he have had enough time? He did. Just talk us through that last lap in your perspective.
I was actually quite surprised it took Holty that long to catch me. He was in second place with 25 minutes to go, 16 seconds back, and I thought the pace that Holty's got, it's not going to be long before he's going to be on the back of me, and I'd kind of resigned myself to a second place finish there with Kieran quite so far back. But the last lap, I mean, he caught me. We went over the line with the last lap. He was right there behind me, and I covered my position before we got out onto the long straight and just overshot it a little bit. Holty was up the inside and past me. He was going to get me on the straight anyway, to be fair. Yeah, I did my best, held on to it for as long as I could. And, you know, all things being equal, Matt, I'll take that.
Yeah. I'm sure that at the end of the night you'd have bit somebody's hand off for a P2, so the win would have been a bonus, but the P2 is still a great result for yourself.
Absolutely, and as I say, after race one, I gave it everything I got in race one. I had to have a bit of luck in race two to make it happen.
Dan?
I was just going to say, I don't actually think Holty would have got you on the straight. You were pulling him half a second in the straights. So I think actually your downforce setup is more suited for you on the straights. He was just quicker than you in the corners from what we were seeing. It was half a second you would gain on him every time down that back straight. Every time.
The first time he passed me, Dan, he just breezed past me on the straight.
He was carrying damage, I think, on that lap, on that ending. So he looked like he was carrying damage on the front end. So you had the straight line advantage down the back straight. But it second place nonetheless. It's great. For considering this is the third race you've ever done on ACC, that's good going.
Yeah, it's not too bad at all. And you know, I said at the end of the project, and I've said all along that it's a learning curve. Do you know what I mean? I'm learning the game.
Yeah.
I'm learning things as we go. You know, wasn't expecting to. I was expecting to be in the top half, which I think I am. You know, safely. But yeah, a couple of race wins would be nice towards the end of the season. But we'll see. That the pace of Holty, of Arjun and Shane, you know, those three have just got such superior pace that it's difficult to catch them, for sure.
We have a week break, obviously, into next week. Nürburgring the week after. It gives you that extra bit of week, maybe of preparation. Nürburgring, a track we know well. What can we do there?
We know the track really well. We did 24 hours on it, or part of it. So, yeah, know the track really well. Always gone well at Nürburgring. So, again, it's a case of, you know, just continuing to learn the game, learn the setup, try and make the car a bit quicker in my hands. You know?
Yeah.
So,
well done tonight, Kelly. Congratulations. We'll see you in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, congratulations to Holty, and well done to Kieran as well, and everyone else this evening.
Cheers, Kelly. Holty, we said in the first race that you're just on a bit of a run with no wins. Well, you're back on the top step now.
Yeah, I'm surprised to get here. I thought Shane might have pulled away. I don't know what happened with Shane. I don't know if he'd come together with his teammate or what.
He hit the rear of me once.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
so yeah,
there was a couple of pink cars spinning behind me.
Yes, I just had to keep the pressure on. I had a bit of damage. I lost a lot of time in the pits, and I had Daz behind us. I pitted at the same time as him, and I was watching him going right. I still got 15 seconds left on the pits, and I seen him going out.
Yeah.
And then I was like to Arjun, I think someone just collected him as he come out of the pits. And then I didn't know Kelly had already pitted a couple laps after that, and he was miles up the road, 16 seconds. But yeah, when I was coming down the straight, I couldn't catch him. I was saying to Arjun on the headset, I just can't catch him on the headset down the straight.
Yeah.
So I was having to brake later into corners to get that time down, and it was a good race. It come down to the very last lap.
It did indeed. You had a moment with a back marker we saw. You just kind of tapped the rear of him and span yourself around. Did that cause you the damage down the straight that you meant you was losing to Kelly?
Yeah, I just had too much front damage in the end. It's a bit of a nightmare. I don't know who it is in the Porsche. He just defends too hard, or he just brakes when you're in front of him. It's just a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. But overall, I'm happy with that win. And it's good for the constructors as well, with the both. I think Lamborghini's finishing behind us. Yeah.
We go to Nürburgring in 2 weeks' time again, a track that you know very well, a track that I believe you took a race win at, one of your first race wins back in the day of Project Cars. So a track you've got a lot of good results at.
Yeah, luckily we've got 2 weeks now. I'm just still getting used to this game.
Yeah.
And I've had to change my driving style so much. But I'm enjoying this game at the moment, so I just hope I can keep winning.
Well, we'll catch you in 2 weeks to find out. Dan, final comments for you. Give us a driver of the day as well.
Well, started off looking like the Lamborghinis are going to be the ones to beat, and turned out that race 1, Shane dominated. Race 2, all went to pot, but once again, the cream will always rise to the top, and Holtzy is looking very, very strong in this championship. Argent there to support him when he needs him. Tops to Kelly for really hanging it out tonight. Probably his best performance on ACC so far, with a 4th and a 2nd. So great stuff. PN, another mention to him. Also, Daz just unlucky. Just a little bit of silly little errors, but overall, the guys did very well to keep themselves within the track limits. Driver of the day, I'm going to have to give it to the big man. I'm going to have to give it to Kelly. What a drive he done tonight. He took the 4th, he took 2nd place. If it was 1 lap earlier, he would have won this race. But Holtzy is, so far, Holtzy's the man to catch, and he is on the pace.
I'm going to have to agree with you. I'm going to have to give it to Kelly. Would normally be Holty for a 1-2, but I think Holty's one of the 3 that we're watching for this championship battle. Kelly starting to put the cat amongst the pigeons, maybe. That was a great result from him tonight, so I'm going to give him my driver of the day as well. We'll be back tomorrow night, Liam Bostock, in your commentary box for the Pro Series. 8 PM GMT, myself and Dan will be out on track, hopefully giving you as good a race as possible, along with so many other quick drivers. You do not want to miss that one. And join us, or join Dan Davis, Sunday night, 8 PM GMT, yet again, the Austrian Grand Prix. Can I finish a race? Can James get back to winning ways? Who knows what will happen, but you'll have to join us live at 8 PM GMT Sunday for that one as well. In terms of Pro-Am, we get a week's rest. We go to the Nürburgring. We head from France to Germany. Bit of practice for the guys now. 2 weeks till that one. We'll catch you next time. Take care. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
DNF Duffin.